Last we left off, our party were fresh from the heat of battle with these presumed Blackwatch operatives en route to Sanctuary. With your enemies slain, but the sounds of your battle likely to have carried to the outskirts of Sanctuary, with you had little time to spare and got to work planning your next move. First things first, you freed the prisoners from the back of the transport caravan. Upon their release, you met Dio and Margot, a tiefling and Harangon who had been imprisoned in Terminus by the Arcanoclast. Alongside them, you also met Millicent, Griff, and the Mary Courts, refugees of the Feywild, prisoners of the Pale Court, who had been sold or handed off to these Blackwatch operatives for whatever ill aims would occur within the walls of Sanctuary. With time being of the essence, you cleaned up the scene of your ambush, and with Augustus as the new lead horse of this transport carriage, retreated down the road a good ways from the ensuing investigation. With the refugees and prisoners free and safe, you reconvened and debated your angle in. Leave these folks and get them to safety, or press on here and infiltrate Sanctuary as planned. In the end, you elected to pursue your initial course of action, and Augustus, still in horse form, would return down the road and walk straight up to the gates of the fortification, as the rest of you would sneak through the swamp, surrounding the outer walls and enter through the side door on the eastern. On the way back, Augustus did come across a group of figures from the facility investigating the scene of your battle. Upon seeing the carriage empty of prisoners and the operatives missing, the lead Inquisitor here called the rest to continue their search while he returned the carriage to inform the Archdeacon of what had occurred. Augustus was led through the gates and into the interior courtyard of the main structure without issue. He was able to overhear the Inquisitor and Archdeacon speaking in hushed tones that the matron would be rather displeased if these refugees escaped, and that her displeasure would be punishing for those who had failed her. With that, the Inquisitor left, and some attendants had been called to lead Augustus and the carriage to the stable yard. However, meanwhile, on the outside looking in, the rest of you watched as Augustus passed through the gates, and you all began to creep along the outskirts of the eastern, keeping to the shadows of the tree line on the east side of a muddy moat, kind of moat-like ditch, less moat, more ditch, where the sanctuary sits built up out of the bog. As the five of you sought access or insight to get yourselves inside the walls too, Mogden, your Ursuline watcher ally, slipped up slightly, tumbled into view of the heightened watch over the tower rooms. Though it was not the armed guard who spotted his slip-up, but a statuesque gargoyle perched at the peak of the tower wall. It became animated, and with a roaring screech and unfurled wings, leapt from its stony seat and dove towards Mogden. This is where we begin tonight. I need everyone to roll initiative.
Oh no!
Oh, time to dance.
A note for initiative. The hidden party members, so Enid, DeCrane, and Andy, you all have advantage on your initiative roll. The guard, who has not seen this, is surprised. He has disadvantage. Mogden and the gargoyle are straight rolls, so just regular roll for initiative.
Question:
Should I roll?
You can, but you're not really going to be close enough to this encounter.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you can roll so that I can add some narrative to what's happening on your side.
Done.
Kyle, you said that my passive perception was too shit to see any of this. That's how you ended kind of at that last game.
You didn't notice the gargoyle. So previously, Enid and DeCrane had kind of seen the gargoyle spot Mogden before it leapt. So they had a chance to act preemptively. Their reaction, like what they've done is you guys have held action attacks, which you can loose before your initiative using your reaction for the round. You can fire freely. You both have your bows kind of drawn and knocked for a shot, but then run initiative as normal. Andy, you just didn't have the time to kind of get that, but you're going to roll an initiative as you'll act in your normal order. So 25 to 20, 20 to 15, 15 to 10.
Oh my god. Okay, I rolled 10.
I rolled a 10 also.
Sorry, DeCrane, what was that?
You're muted.
You're muted. Let's keep you muted. This is fun.
7
plus. What's your initiative?
11 total.
11, okay.
Okay, great. 10, 10, 11. What did my sweet sister get?
With advantage.
What'd you roll?
8.
Oh my
Oh
gosh.
my god.
Is there an initiative button? I just rolled a straight D20. Is there? Oh, I get
It's beside your AC.
Oh, should I re-roll or just add 1 to the 10 I already rolled?
No, that'll put you up to 11 and put you in the same spot you are, actually.
Great, cool.
Nothing changes.
Awesome. Perfect.
Okay, so Enid, 8, Andy.
I rolled a 3 on the dice and then a 4 on the dice. So
Good lord.
6.
Our intrepid heroes killing it out here.
Great party name.
Yeah, we definitely should use that everywhere on the internet.
Don't sue us, College Humor.
All right, so we're gonna move over to our battle cam here in a second.
Oh, spicy.
What? Pardon me?
No, yeah,
Oh
that's-
shit! Look at this.
That is cool.
Is that crisp HD over here?
So as we kind of kick things off, Mogden, you have fallen into the mud. You are laying there prone. I've also found a better mini for you than the one that you
right on.
previously. This one's way bigger, cooler, and more bear-like. So
Love it. Love to hear it. I also love to start all of my battles in the dirt in prone position. That's how I roll. That's how I roll.
Mogden just really likes a challenge. Like start him off as hard as possible so he can rise to the top.
Right, that's right.
Atop the wall, you see just at the very top corner there, this winged creature is about to leap off the top there. Up top of the kind of tower section at the corner, there is firelight. So you guys can all see a little bit of firelight from within the top of the tower, and kind of somewhat lit beyond. You can just kind of get the ambient light of some candlelight and torchlight from the hall that would be on the other side of this wall. But for the most part, everything here is dark. It is like 10:30, 11 at night. So it is unlit out here. So we're considered in darkness here, or at least low light conditions. However, all of you have dark vision. Enid with your goggles. Augustus is not in this battle, so that's not going to necessarily matter in this case, but I just wanted to kind of preface it anyways. There's a little point right over here. This is the armed guard, and I will get a closer shot as it comes to his turn, as you guys go to act here. Initiative begins with the gargoyle.
Classic
as
gargoyle.
The gargoyle leaps and dives down, landing directly beside Mogden. Enid and DeCrane, you guys have your held actions. Do you want to try and use them as the gargoyle leaps down?
Allie was nodding yes there.
Yeah, I think I will.
Okay,
Get this
go
guy.
ahead and
Yeah,
take
yeah.
a shot at the gargoyle.
Might as well,
DeCrane,
right?
are you loosing your bow as well?
Yep.
Okay, both of you make your attack rolls as the gargoyle swoops down to attack.
This camel looks great.
16 to hit.
A 16 hits.
Sweet.
Nice.
And then damage is 6.
Good.
You fire the arrow. It collides with the stony body, and you notice kind of it chips a little bit, but not quite as much damage as a flesh and blood creature. DeCrane, shot.
Rolled a 9, and it's +9, so 18 total.
Definitely hits.
And it's 1d8 +4. And I rolled a 6.
Okay, great. So same deal for you. Your arrow hits a little bit harder, but still the stony exterior of the creature kind of takes the piercing blows of your arrows without really any cause for concern. They were your held action attacks, but that will give it clue that there are more than just the one creature it's seen thus far. You guys were previously confident that you were hidden from sight. Now at least it knows that there's a target in the area, but it does not deter its dive towards Mogden, as it does dive down, and with its first attack is going to attempt to actually grapple you. So Mogden, I actually need a strength saving throw.
Okay, let's do it. Come on.
Not strength check though. You're okay. Not strength check. Strength saving
check,
throw.
strength save.
You're okay.
What do I roll on the strength saving then?
Just below that, see it says saving throw modifiers.
Okay.
Right?
All right.
It should be good.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Getting used
Share
to
with
this
the class.
dashboard here. We got a 23.
Oh yeah. You feel the gargoyle's kind of stony talons like grab onto your shoulders, and as you kind of it rolls you over in the mud and begins. You feel like its wings beat as it begins to try and lift you from the mud and lift you up into the air with it. But both your just burly exterior and the weight of your large form break free of it with ease. It kind of flutters up into the air for a minute. And then sees that that's not going to work. It's just going to go for a full claw attack at advantage on you.
Do your worst, little man.
That's going to be a 19 to hit.
Yeah,
Okay.
that'll do it.
Yeah. It's
Or
yeah.
against your AC, yeah?
Yeah. Yes, you hit for sure.
That's going to be 6 points of damage to you.
Okie dokes. Let's lock that in.
Come on, Mogden.
It is then going to fly up and away from you. You get an attack of opportunity.
How far is he from me at this point?
So yeah, he was right on top of you, and is
Okay.
like beats his wings about to kind of fly away. You can attempt to hit. If you hit, you cannot fly anywhere.
Okay, great. So I'm gonna say as he is like trying to claw me, I reached down and pulled my 2 bearded axes out of my belt, and I'm just gonna try to chop this thing and pull it down with the beards on the axe.
Do it.
All right, so first axe, here we go. That's a 14.
14 unfortunately misses, and with an action attack of opportunity, you only get the 1 attack.
Dang.
So
Okay.
You swing up, you try to catch, but it is it moves enough out of your reach. Had you been at your full height, you would have caught it, but it manages to escape you ever so slightly, and it does fly up to be.
Where do you go, little bird?
Just
Poor
the
Bogdan
tree.
just gets beat on when he's down, and they run away. They hit him and run every time.
I
It's gonna
would.
fly just above you, at like 15 feet.
15 feet. Okay. No problem.
I will point out one thing on this battle map. The squares for the ground are 10-foot squares instead of 5-foot squares. The wall is quite large and long, so I wanted to make sure that the kind of battle map here exemplified that. So each square is 10. There will be moments where you're kind of in between squares. I'm going to be pretty generous with it. That ends the gargoyle's turn. It takes us to Decrane. Now, Decrane, as you start, I want to highlight something for you and Enid as well. You guys had noted up here along the wall is this armed guard right here, who is kind of, he's peering over the wall with a long barrel rifle that Decrane you recognize as a long barrel rifle, not quite a sniper rifle, but more like a hunting rifle. It would be. When this had occurred previously, you knew that this guy had not spotted you guys, but you're not sure if they spotted Mog yet. And as you get into the fight here, there are other guards around. The sooner you guys can collectively clean this up, the likelihood that you will be able to remain hidden. The longer this goes on, more guards will arrive to the scene of this scenario. So, keeping that in mind, Decrane, it's your turn.
I wanted to ask about, if I use my scimitar, I have Nick, and it says when you make an extra attack of the light property, you can make it as part of the attack action instead of a bonus.
Mm-hmm. So where we would normally have to use, the 2-weapon fighting, your bonus action would be that kind of third attack.
Mhm.
If you use that weapon, you can make that extra attack and still have your bonus action.
Oh,
So
okay.
you get the 3 attacks and you have a bonus.
Ooh, okay, so I'll use my scimitar and use Nick.
Gonna be a challenge. The creature's
He's really
15
fucking
feet in the
high.
air. Well, not really high, but he's 15 feet.
But I can scale, can't I?
What are you gonna scale?
The air.
The tree?
And then jump. Like my whole
This
thing is I
is-
scale and I jump. Like,
Now I'm interested.
Okay, so this would be from this tree here.
yeah.
That would be a 30-foot jump. Now from
You also have to climb a fucking tree.
Well, he's got spider climb. I'm not worried about that.
Oh, yeah, okay.
From this tree, it would be a closer jump, but you're only going to get the 1 attack.
But what if I
You do-
stick it into him? So it's like stuck in him. And I hold on.
Sticking into stone.
You could stick it in, but then the problem with your scimitar is that it's a double blade. You couldn't then use the other side of the blade because you'd have to remove the blade.
Okay, I get it. All right, I guess I will go back to the bow. This may be a bit far-fetched.
It's a strategy to consider for more hand-to-hand combats to come.
Okay.
There will be
Yeah.
plenty.
All right,
Do
let
you
me
stay
roll.
there as you take your shots?
Can I move? I want to take a bit of cover if that guy has that guard might be seeing us.
Yeah, do you want to try and get behind this tree, or do you
Yeah.
want to try and get behind this tree over here and get a little closer?
Actually, let me get behind the other tree. No one seems to be there, so I'll...
You get to just to there, which would give you cover from the kind of rifleman, but still give you angle to shoot up at the gargoyle.
Okay, perfect. And I rolled an 18.
Yeah, definitely hits.
Nice.
Okay, and I will do... Can I do second wind, actually? Or is it too late?
No, you can do it. It's a bonus action. You can
Okay.
too.
So 1d8, I rolled a 7, plus 4, 11.
Tight.
Okay. Again, you hit, but not quite as much as you'd like.
And second wind, I can do another shot, right?
Second one heals you.
Oh, right. No, I don't. Okay, never mind. I don't need that.
Action surge is another thing, but so we're gonna get into a lot more. We're gonna get into a lot more shit after this, but this has to
You have 2 attacks regardless.
Yeah, you get to attack again.
You get 2 attacks just on your main attack anyways.
Yeah, so I'll do that again, I guess.
Get him.
And I rolled a 13.
That's going to hit with your bonus for sure.
And I rolled a 1 plus 4, 5.
Unfortunate on the damage there.
Everything counts.
Everything counts. That's that. With more shots being fired, you're keeping yourself relatively hidden from being heard or seen by anyone else, but the gargoyle now is aware. Obviously, this is multiple targets before. That's your action, your full movement. Do you want to do anything with a bonus, or are you good there?
I'm good.
Mogden, we come to you.
Oh boy. All right. Well, I don't know if strategically this is a good move in the grand scheme of things, but Mogden's pretty pissed at this point. He's tired of being pushed in the dirt. He's tired of people stepping on him and running away. He's feeling like, he's raging a little bit. He's going to rage, baby.
Do it.
So,
Jumps up to your feet. You go into a rage.
now, fresh from missing this thing with his 1 axe as it flew away, he's got that one in hand, and he's going to pull his other one from his belt, give it a little twirl, and he's going to huck this thing
You got it.
at this dirty little garg.
As you go to make that attack roll, which rage did you go into? Did you go to the bear rage for the resistances?
Let's stick with the bear, I think.
Yeah,
Bear's
totally
great.
fine. It fits.
All right.
It fits the narrative here.
For whatever reason, I can't seem to find that on my page, but that's fine. We'll go with the bear, and
Go ahead and make your attack.
okay, so he's gonna give you a little twirl, and he's gonna throw the first one here. Oh, Mogden, my sweet boy. That's a 9.
The axe twirls up into the air, and with the flying creature in the darkness, just kind of lands off into the mud somewhere.
Great. Okay, Mogden now is obviously very upset. He's gonna throw the other one, and that's a 17.
That's gonna hit. Go ahead and roll
Beauty.
There you go,
Okay.
Mogden.
That's gonna be a 10.
10 points of damage. Perfect.
Just panting.
Do you add damage to that too when you're raging?
Oh, there is a rage damage bonus of 2.
Oh,
Okay, great.
so call it 12.
Color 12.
I will actually, in fact, call it 6 because as you hit, it does chips away at some of the stone, but the stone of the gargoyle is resistant to some of your mundane weapon. The axe falls to the ground at your feet, basically, where you throw up into it, so you can retrieve that one super easily. The other one gets kind of thrown off into the distance. I'll remind you as well, for your next turn, you can recklessly attack, which gives you the advantage on your attacks. So you could take advantage on all your attacks. However, all attacks against you have it as well.
Okay.
So for the future. That's your bonus action. That's your action. Do you want to move anywhere further? You can only get basically 1.5 squares because you had to stand up from prone. Do you want to move in the direction of any particular?
I'm wondering, I don't want to leave these guys unsupported, but I'm also wondering if it's worth moving closer towards this wall to try and get out of sight a little bit here. If this guy's peering over the edge of the parapet, so I don't know what kind of distance I can get, having already made my 1 action here.
It's not that far. It's about that far.
Great, I'll take it.
Okay. As this is underway, in the courtyard proper, Augustus, you at the front of this carriage with the other horse behind you, your Inquisitor attendant has kind of gone inside with the Archdeacon, and a few minutes pass as you're kind of just standing there, and 2 guards come up to you from the side and kind of take your reins and begin to kind of lead. The one hops up into the driver's box and begins to kind of drive everything kind of around, and you are led around the kind of east side of the main hall, kind of left side of the hall, on this kind of path around towards kind of this back garden area. As you kind of go around, the east side of Carrington Hall, you can see that it expands to the deeper to the south. There's a full garden that would be flourishing outside of the winter months. You can see that along this pathway, there's from the main courtyard, there is a covered stables and a small cottage beside it. Around the south side of the hall, you can see there's a larger expanse of garden surrounded by a low stone wall. There are a simple-looking shed, a gazebo structure that is near the kind of south outer wall, and a greenhouse in the southwest corner. You can see as you and these two guards can lead you over into this kind of stable area. The guard heads off to bang on the cottage door. You kind of see a moment passes, like an elderly figure grumbles at the door and chats with the guard for a second, and then they say, "Come on, Brum, get to work." The guards leave this elder figures. Is there anything you're trying to do on your time in there?
Maybe I'll just make a perception check for signs of where they would bring prisoners.
Absolutely.
Let's do it. What is that? A 21.
Obviously, you've got the main Carrington Hall that is kind of the main structure here that certainly would serve as somewhere within there, could certainly serve as a place to hold prisoners. The east and west wings that are kind of in these kind of horseshoe style buildings before you would reach Carrington Hall, and this kind of like view of east wing, a separate building is Carrington Hall, and then on the other side of the U is the west wing, that are all kind of annexed from one another. Each of them are kind of mirror images of each other, and in theory, again, could be another place for holding prisoners, but they don't seem to give you that impression. Like, they don't give you the impression of like a good place to hold prisoners. With a 21, as you get around to this kind of cottage and covered stable area, you actually see at the south corner of the Carrington Hall itself, there is a kind of sunken stairwell that leads down, kind of into like a lower section. You can see like it's built into the side of the wall. You can't see it, obviously, like what it looks like down below, but there is a lower section. Obviously, in this kind of world, dungeons and that kind of thing would very much make sense. So you kind of have a good inkling that, like, if you're going to hold a prisoner, that wouldn't be a bad spot to at least start with.
That's the place to do it? Okay, awesome. And that's all I'll do. Yeah, I'll just play nice as a horse for now.
Awesome.
Are the people nice to the horse, or are they mean to the horse?
Yeah, what's this Brom fellow like?
We'll find out next turn.
I'm going to kick the shit out of him if he's mean to horses.
Enid, we come to you here. You've got the gargoyle, obviously, directly there.
Yeah.
And then up on the wall, at the kind of farthest reaches of what you could potentially see here, 10, 20, 30, about 140 feet away from you to there. So it might be a little difficult for your sight, but your bow has that range if you wanted to pivot and target the guard versus the guard.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
Do you want to hold here? Do you want to try and get any closer?
Am I able to get closer?
Yeah, you got your full movement.
Okay. I will use my full movement then. And and then I'll use my longbow.
Do you have anything, Allie? Because this needs to, like, potentially work in one hit before he has a turn and he yells. Is there anything you can do to, like...
I was going to do, oh my god, where is it? Where'd it go?
Dreadful Strikes?
Yeah. I was going to try that, and then...
Does it have a range?
I don't think so. Dreadful Strikes just happens on a hit.
Yeah.
That's great.
So I was going to try that, and then if I have a bonus... Oh, no, moving, I guess, is bonus.
No.
It's just moving.
Oh, okay. Then I would do a Hunter's Mark on him as well.
That has a range.
It's also a spell.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't know how many spell slots you have left, but...
No.
Or is the new one not a spell?
No,
The only other thing I have is Rabbit Hop, and that doesn't provoke.
I thought you had another, like, marky kind of thing. Maybe not. Maybe I'm just... Maybe it's
No, it's just she has a Hunter's Mark that she can do for free.
Yeah.
I have a question, though, to kind of open things up. As you, to get a clear shot would put you kind of more into the open, to get the clearest, best shot possible, would kind of put you out into, like, underneath this space here.
Okay.
Which would expose you to being seen by the gargoyle as well as potentially this other guard figure. But your intent here is kind of one shot here, so it would give you the best angle.
Okay.
Is that what you do?
Yeah. If I did a Rabbit Hop with it, would that? Yeah, because it says I could do. It says I can do, as a bonus action, I can do the rabbit hop. I can jump 15 feet without provoking opportunity attacks.
Yeah, you could easily jump
So,
and get a little further and fire.
okay, I'll do that then.
Okay. Go ahead and make your attack roll here.
Okay, come on.
Hot dice. Let's go.
Come on.
12 to hit.
A 12, I don't believe is going to hit against this target.
Fuck.
Your arrow, as you're kind of looking up into the wall there, your arrow, as you leap up, hits the side of the stone parapet that is. He's kind of looking up over the wall. He now has a much clearer target on you. You watch the rifle kind of angle in your direction. You draw the second shot.
Okay,
Get him, Allie.
Come on. Oh,
Cinema,
17.
let's go.
17's going to hit for sure.
Okay, and then damage is 4. Not great. And then I add to it the dreadful strikes.
Yeah.
So an extra.
Is this Allie? Is that 4, including that extra +1?
Yeah, because I added it to it.
How?
It was just a 1 on the dice. It was real low.
So you only add
Then
2
you-
normally to your damage attack rolls?
Yeah.
No, it should be +3.
And then
That
dreadful
doesn't
strike
sound right.
is 3.
Let's just double check the math. Okay, you should get there's a +1 to the damage bonus on that. So it should be +4 on the damage. That would bring it still to a 5, and a 4 is still 9 points of damage. Unfortunately, it's not going to take this guy out.
Okay.
It's okay.
The arrow hits, and you watch it hit and take this guy down pretty heavily, like 2 more points of damage, and you had him.
Okay.
They are not particularly strong and hardy figures here. You watch the arrow sink into kind of like the neck, and he's like grasping at it, and you're not sure how the reaction here is going to go. But he looks not long for this world. But will he be able to get more guards here before he dies? We'll find out.
It's in his throat. Hopefully not. Hopefully.
Maybe he'll lose his balance and fall off the wall
off
in
the
front of the
wall.
bear man.
Mogden
What?
style.
when he dies, that if he had one-shot him, that was going to be a chance roll to see which way his body fell.
Ooh.
Oh, true. That's good.
We will see what happens when he does. But Enid, that's your full move, bonus action, and your attack action, so it's in your turn.
Okay.
Andy, we come to you.
Okay. Remind me. So the distance from me to that guy is
Guard.
significantly farther than I think it is because of the 10 square thing, right? So,
About 150
Jesus.
from where you're
Okay.
standing right now, obviously, before moving.
Yeah, but I mean, even if I only move my 30 feet, that's, I don't know anything. That's 120. So, shit. Cav, you rolled meh initiative, right? You went just before Allie.
11.
Okay, well, I can't do anything about the guard, unfortunately. I don't have anything that's that distance.
Kill him.
I can't. I have nothing that can actually get that far. Like, none of my spells are 150 feet or even 120. So there's nothing I can do that is his distance. So I have to do something about the gargoyle. I'm just going to try a mind sliver.
Okay.
So it's an intelligence save.
That is not going to save.
Okay.
Not particularly smart, these things.
Kind of hope so. Oh, double sixes on the 2d6.
Oh, nice.
The 12 points of damage. And
Good.
I'll take out a d4 because he gets a negative d4 to his next save. Well, to a save before my next turn.
Okay, great. You guys watch as it's kind of flying, about to kind of dive back down for its next round of attacks. It suddenly kind of clings to the side of its head. No kind of resistance to this whole psychic damage here, so
Good. I wasn't sure if it would work at all if he was like, I don't know.
full damage on that. That's your action.
Yeah, so I'd only get 3 squares of movement, right? And I don't want to be right in the open, so I think I'm going to stay where I am.
Okay.
Because technically, there's nothing visible to that attack, so there's nothing that
Nope.
flags it
You
as me.
seem confident in being hidden. Now, Andy, that is going to end your turn.
Mhm.
Bottom of the round, on a natural 1 initiative, the armed guard, who now has an arrow sticking out of his neck, preserving his own life, drops the rifle. You kind of see him drop out of sight, but unfortunately to all of you, you watch a bright red flare fire from the top of the wall. Augustus, from the stables, you see the 2 guards instantly look up and just, oh shit, and they kind of begin to leave you and kind of tear towards the wall.
Yeah. I hope that's not my friends.
Now, did the horse say that? Because
Nah,
the
that's
horse
just my
can't
dad.
speak.
He's thinking.
Ron Howard narrating, just like, it was in fact his friend.
It was.
That guy hides from view,
Oh, great.
and he uses his action to fire off his flare. That's going to take us from the guard's turn to the top of the initiative with the gargoyle again. The gargoyle, let's see. Ogden, you were tough, so he's going to swoop down at Allie this time and try and grapple you. I need you to make a strength or dexterity saving throw.
Okay, I'm gonna do a dexterity. That is
Nice.
19.
Nice roll.
Yeah, definitely. You hear it swooping behind you, and you duck out of its way as it kind of swoops over top. It is going to dive back down and take a claw strike at you, which is definitely going to hit with a natural 19,
Yep.
and that's going to be 4 points of slashing damage.
Okay.
Where it swoops up there.
Oh.
That's going to end its turn to Crane. You're up.
The guards are still at the wall, right?
You watch the guard fire a flare up into the air and then drop out of sight.
Oh, so I can't see him. Okay.
Yeah, we're kind of fucked right now. So we have to decide if we like take this out and then try to hide or go around a different direction or something. But we have to take this gargoyle out because it's the only one who like it truly knows exactly where we are.
Yeah, smoke it. We gotta.
All right, I'll go for it
Go ahead.
with an arrow. 18
That's going to hit for sure.
and roll an 8 plus 4.
Wow.
12.
Damn. Okay. A very good strike. It's still flying, but your strike clips its wing and it does drop it like ever so slightly. Clean, like you hear it scrapes into the wall to hold itself aloft before kicking itself back up and flying just ever so slightly worse than it did before. Second attack.
Yep. 7 and 9, 16.
A 16 hits.
Close.
And another 8.
Nice.
Wow.
Big money. Big money.
That's going to be another 6. It's taking this guy nearly out of the fight, but not just yet.
Dice are warming up.
Kev says hot dice.
For
That
once.
is your attack action there as you fire 2 shots quick, rapid fire. So your bonus, you still have your movement. What do you want to do?
For bonus, I can't really do anything, I guess, actually, looking. I'll move. Actually, I'll stay where I am because I'm covered. Yeah, I'm okay.
All right, you hold your position. Mogden, that does bring us back to you.
Okay. How far is he away from me right now? This little baddie.
10, 30, 40, about 40 feet.
40 feet. Okay. I'm going to move the full 40 feet, I think, and just like try to get as close to it as possible.
You get right underneath it.
Okay. And then from there, you said it's about 15 feet in the air from me?
It's about 10, actually.
10, okay. So sadly, not close enough for my greatsword. That would be very satisfying to just cleave this thing out of the air.
Be right on the cusp.
Oh, okay.
If you want to give me an athletics check, as you did your full 40 movement, and give like a big fucking jump with your great axe,
A big jump. Okay. All right.
give it to you.
Okay. Okay, I like this because this is Mogden's pissed. He wants to just jump and take this thing out of the sky. So athletics would be, oh yeah, finally. That's going to be a 23.
Oh yeah, like Hulk style, just like break the ground.
He jumps as he like unsheathes the greatsword, like yeah.
Oh yeah. Now, before you roll your attack roll, do you want to attack recklessly here so you get the advantage?
Ooh, yes, because this thing's getting close to death. So let's
Oh, yeah.
let's do it. Let's do it.
Fuck yeah.
Okay,
Roll twice, take the higher.
here we go. Haha, 26.
Nice.
Definitely, it's roll to see if you get the crit just for fun.
Let's do it. And
Oh,
24.
another good roll though.
Still,
Yeah.
with the 14 damage you'd previously rolled and the 2 rage bonus on top, you leap and with this mighty great sword, cleave it in two that just it kind of bursts into a shatter and rain of stone that falls all around you as you land heavily on the ground. Now that's one attack, but no other enemies are on the field right now. You did use your full movement, and you still technically have a bonus action if there's anything else you want to do in a bonus action.
Let me just have a look here.
Across the board here, because the flare went off, I'm not going to exit initiative just yet.
Okay. I feel like I know this isn't like an actual combat move. I feel like he's going to at least, I don't think there's much I can do. I feel like he's just gonna like look over to the group and kind of like signal for them to like come towards the wall. Like we got to get up against this wall and start moving towards some kind of access point, or at least to get out of line of sight from whoever's up top.
Okay. You give the signal to kind of follow you, and you've already used your full move, so you end there. Augustus, on the interior, you begin to see there were some guards that were kind of hanging out, playing cards and chatting outside of the east wing that was closest kind of the stables. When the flare goes off, you watch they pick up their spears. They begin to run towards, in tandem with the other two guards who had led you over here. They both begin running to the southeastern corner of the outer wall, so further south, which would be on the same trajectory as the east door that your other party has been kind of heading towards.
And am I still hooked up to this carriage?
You currently are, yes. Brom, the groundskeeper, has yet to kind of get to work here.
Brom, let's go. I'm going to... and is the other horse still with me behind me?
Yeah, still part of the carriage here.
I'm not going to do anything crazy, but I am going to, like, nervously do some horse stuff, like whinny a bit, give a little, like, gallop, and maybe just, like, trot towards him nervously, trying to encourage him to, like, hurry this process up.
Okay. You watch as this kind of elderly figure who's just, like, kind of coming out of the cottage, just still, like, kind of half in, like, his night gear, just putting on, like, a pair of, like, kind of work overalls over top of, like, his other, like, nightshirt and stuff, boots and, like, a fluffier hat just to try and keep the cold off. He comes, all right, I'll get you, don't worry. And he starts to kind of make his way towards you. Whoa. And he hands you, he has like a bag of oats that he kind of stuffs your face into.
Fuck, he's kind of nice. I'll have some oats.
They're nice.
I'll regretfully have some oats and I'll just be waiting.
You hold for your turn as it takes Brom a little bit to get to work here.
Let's hurry this shit up, Brom.
Enid, we come to you. What are you doing on the outside here?
Okay, how far has the flare gone up? Like, how far? Is it, like, all the way gone? Like, it just it burst?
Flare shot up 60 feet in the air and then burst. So anybody who would be on the exterior wall would have seen it. Probably on the interior in the buildings would have been seen from some of the higher windows for sure. Big red flare in the dead of night.
Yep. Okay. And that guy is dead?
At the very least, you don't see him anymore.
I don't see him anymore.
That's the one concern is, like, if anyone talks to him,
Yeah.
he can say, yeah, there's 4 fuckers and there's an arrow. But I don't know how else, we can't get to him right now.
Yeah. Can I... Oh. I was gonna say, if I could summon Toot Sweet.
Mm-hmm. It does cost your action.
Okay. Because I was gonna say, use him to see if he can find that guy.
You could also hold your action in case you see anybody, but, like...
You could do the Toot Sweet thing, and then you could see above, because you could fly. You could give you a good aerial, so it's not a bad play.
I'll do that, and then that way I can see what's happening and how many and what direction. And
for sure. How far can you summon him from you? Does it give you a cast range? Because I could give you some extra, distance here.
30 feet?
Okay. So, 30 feet in the air.
Put him in, like, a tree or something?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you're trying to go... I thought you were trying to get up to the top of the wall.
Yeah, because I would...
a scroll. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you could summon him 30
And Toot Sweet do 2 points of damage?
That's what I was thinking, too.
Yeah. Just knock him off the wall.
Just bite him?
Yeah.
What's the speed of Toot Sweet's fly?
30.
So you got 60 with him. Not going to quite reach the guy, but Toot Sweet does get within range of like 10 feet of him.
This is great. Just wait for it.
Yeah.
Toot Sweet does a lot of damage.
He does.
He does.
He does 1d6 plus 4. He's a little tank out here. So
what is the command you give Toot Sweet?
I'll just kind of summon him up and be like, "Oh, Tootsie, go, quickly! I think I made a mess of this."
Toot Sweet's just. And he flies up.
Get rid of the arrow.
Oh yeah, chew the arrow off so that there's no evidence.
You assume he hears you and takes off to the skies, and you'll find out how that plays shortly. As Tootsweet had to basically fly, but he doesn't. He could. No, he can't use his dash in this case. But he would get to there, and we'll have an action. When he do you have an action on this turn? You wouldn't be able to reach him. So regardless, you could get him to fly and have an action to get to dash on top of him.
Okay.
Or he wouldn't be able to do any damage.
He wouldn't be able. Yeah. Okay, that's fine. Don't want him to blow his cover just yet.
Wait in the shadows, Toot Sweet.
What is Toot Sweet? I don't think
Oh, that's right.
Oh, he is a flying squirrel.
Oh.
That's just a regular squirrel that flies. So he's not a flying squirrel per se.
He's a little squirrel with
Squirrel that
wings.
flies.
No,
No
just-
wings.
No
He
wings.
flies.
He can just
He
fly.
flies. He's like
just flies.
Superman. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Okay.
You watch this little squirrel just fly up over top of the wall. Enid, you still have your movement that costs your bonus action, or your action, but your movement and bonus are still free.
Okay. I'll just kind of stay hidden.
Well, you are currently in the very open, so hidden you could drop back over here,
Yeah.
or you could follow Mogden to be closer to the wall,
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll do that then. I'll go with Mogden.
but you just up behind Mogden. Okay, Andy, we come to you.
Okay. I similarly don't have anything, and I'm so far away. Okay, I'm just going to, I guess, loop around the backside of that tree and kind of try to come towards it. If we're all going to hug the wall, great. I don't have any actions that I think I can use. The only, no, because I can't see up on top of the wall, so that also doesn't help. Okay, no, I'm just gonna, for now, use my action to get as close to everyone else as I can. And I don't have any bonus actions. So it's going to be it for
Dasher
now.
gets you onto the kind of edge of the stone kind of lip.
Great.
About 30 to 40 feet behind these two.
Yeah, okay. Okay. And just under my breath, just, okay, come on, Tisui. You can do this one.
Okay. On top of the wall, the guard, who is hoping to get away, is going to fire at Toot Sweet.
How fucking dare you?
As this creature who just popped out of the wall, he just panicked, one hand on his throat that is bleeding out, lifts the rifle and just blasts. It's
Come
gonna
on,
have
Toot Sweet.
Dude.
disadvantage to attack here.
Come on, dude.
Wow.
What kind of man shoots a squirrel?
Right? Miss.
Definite miss with a 6 to hit.
Yes.
Good.
But you all hear the rifle shot. Echoes off.
Maybe he can set it up like this guy shot himself by accident.
He's the perfect
Oh my
fall guy.
God. Easy miss.
The guy begins to kind of crawl his way away from Toot Sweet.
I always knew this is how it's gonna go.
That is going to end the guard's turn. The gargoyle is no more. However, at the top of the third round, you do hear this heavy wing beat and flying over the top of the wall here. Another gargoyle.
Fuck.
Dive down, but has to use its action to dive. Going to reach you guys this round. Another gargoyle dives down right above Andy there. Gargoyle swoops down just above Andy's head. You hear it come. And Augustus on the inside, you're seeing these 4 guards at least run towards the south eastern exit. But nobody's made it there yet. DeCrane, we come to you, hidden right here. Do you see this new gargoyle dive down? As the only kind of combatant on the field right now, do you attack that or do you try to make a run?
I will attack it to avoid any repercussions later.
Okay, go ahead and make your attacks.
Let me roll.
A nat 20 would be so great right now if you could do that.
Oh, I got an 18.
So close.
I'll take your
Good.
third 18 of the night. That'll hit.
We're getting there.
I'll
All right.
Take it.
Do it again. May as well take your 2 shots.
Rolled a 6 plus 4,
Great.
10.
Your damage has been really good today, too.
Yeah, once. And then rolled a 16.
Nice.
And
Yeah, both hit.
damage for that, another 6.
Great.
Okay.
So
So 20 total?
Mhm.
Okay, great. Both arrows finding purchase, but not dealing significant full damage, as previously stated. But you're watching just like little chips of it kind of break away as you're just peppering arrow after arrow. You hold your position.
How close am I to the gargoyle?
80 feet.
Okay, never mind. Too far to get too close to it, so I'll stay where I am.
Okay. Green, you hold Mogden. You hear the wing beats from behind. What are you doing?
How far is it from my position there? I'm trying to count on the...
Be about 50 to get back to it, but it is up 10 feet.
Okay. So I'm 50 plus 10, so I'm going to have to move a little closer if I want to do anything. I don't want to go too far. I don't want to go around the corner and put myself at risk of being seen from the other side, but I'd like to get close enough to throw my axe. So...
What's the range of your axe there? 20?
20. Yeah.
Got right here would be 10, 20, about 30 feet of movement and 20 feet to the creature, so you'd be within range.
Beautiful. Okay, so Mogden's going to try a redo of the old axe throw from before. And I don't know, in your master storytelling, if you want to allow him to find the previous one that he threw, or he can just use one of the 5 that I have on my list here. He just has a bag of axes.
The first one you threw that you missed is definitely lost in the mud, but you were able to pick up the second, so you have the second.
Great. So, and then I've got another one I can throw in here.
Oh yeah, you've got a handful.
Yeah, I've got a handful of axes. So he's gonna try two hand axe tosses again here.
Do you want to go reckless on this guy?
Oh, maybe we should. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's finish this off. Okay, so here we go. First one to hit. Oh, come on, Mogden. Oh, right, but I get another one. So that was a 1 plus 7. Another 1. Fucking guy.
That's why you're reckless.
And he rolled a 2. Great.
Mm-hmm.
So 9 on the first axe.
Okay.
Just flies off into the mud, into the distance.
It's like,
Second attack?
oh shit.
Just the countryside of Vigil just covered in axes.
Covered in axes. Okay. 18 plus 7, 25 to hit.
Definitely hits. See if you can get the 20 though.
He does not. 13.
Okay. Still
So,
hits the hit.
Right, let's see what we do here. Come on. It's 1 plus 6, 7.
You get the extra 2 for your rage, so 9. But it does again not deal quite as much damage as was hoped.
Mogden. What are we gonna do with this bear?
The axe,
Sweet boy.
the axe collides and then falls kind of at Andy's feet. So is not quite recovered by you, but within 20 feet of movement, you could recover.
Cool.
That's action. You still have a bonus if there's anything for your bonuses, though, like maintaining your rage. It's kind of the main bonus action you have, but
Yeah,
if there's
let's
anything
see here.
you're welcome to use it, or if you want to say anything.
Oh, I can extend rage. Without having to re-enter rage.
Yeah, but you extended it by making this attack. By hitting this creature, you're still in your rage.
Oh, okay. So I don't need to actually use the bonus action
you're-
for that. Okay.
You're in the clear for now. But basically, if we got to a point where you guys were running, but you wanted to keep your rage going, you can
Got it.
bonus actions to rage for up to 10 minutes, I think.
Okay. I don't think there's too much I can do here because I've already moved, correct? So I can't get close enough to that axe to pick it up. And
No, that would be it. You could move one more square. I think you have 40 feet, right? You moved 30, so you could move one square closer if you...
I think maybe I'll just move him up against the wall to try and again stay out of sight from anyone who's peering over the parapet.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
That ends Mogden's turn. Augustus, on the inside, Braum has fed you well with some oats.
Fucking
He moves over to the other horse, and he spends this action feeding the other horse to calm the other horse.
Oh my god.
Eat it. It's your turn. What are you doing?
Braum.
Okay. I'm still channeling through Toot.
Oh, yes, that's right. So
Yeah.
if you want to defer to Toot Sweet first, you
Yeah.
can jump to him first.
Yes, please.
Good call.
Toot Sweet up on the wall. He can get to this guy with ease.
Beautiful.
Are you giving him the direction to try to kill this man?
Absolutely.
Go ahead and make an attack roll for Toot Sweet.
Okay.
Kill, Toot Sweet, kill.
Picturing the rabbit from Monty Python and the Holy Grail just ripping his throat out.
Tim. Be like, fly, my pretty fly.
Go forth and murder.
He does have advantage, actually, because this guy's prone as well.
Perfect.
Ooh.
Come on.
If you can hit an AC of 15 with Toot Sweet's attack, this guy's dead.
Come on, Tootie.
Yes, do it.
You might just have to roll for it, Al. I don't know.
Yeah,
if
I
there's a
think
button.
so. Yeah, I can't find it anywhere because Keith had an attack button, but it looks like, and he did have one. It looks like it's gone. So I'm just gonna roll on that.
Oh,
Okay.
right. Yeah, so roll just 2d20s plus 4.
Okay.
Come on, Toot.
That was 16.
2. Yeah, and
That was
then
less good.
plus 4.
Yeah. You guys hear the screams of a man being mauled by a flying squirrel as he just tears the throat apart to get
Perfect.
the arrow back. And Toot Sweet, you see, leap over the edge of the wall, headed back in your direction with the arrow in his bloody mouth.
You did it, my son.
Leaps over the wall, headed back in your direction. That is Toot Sweet. What are you doing?
Way to go, dude, sweet.
I will hold an attack in case anybody comes.
There is a gargoyle there if you wanted to attack this gargoyle. You do have angle on it, or you could be looking up over the wall for sure with a health attack.
Yeah, I'll look up because I don't think
Okay.
my bow's gonna do much damage to the gargoyle.
You hold your attack, waiting for the potential guards to arrive.
Yeah.
That'll take us to Andy.
This thing, does it still look like it's coming down at me?
It is swooping down. Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna. It goes next, right?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna pull out my staff and I'm just gonna wait for it to try to come up to me, and I'm gonna try to like uppercut it
With True
With-
Strike or Divine
with my true strike. Yeah.
Sick.
Strike? Holding True Strike. You got it.
Knock this thing out. I want to see that.
It is its turn. It swoops down. So go ahead and make your attack.
Okay, I realize I'm rolling damage for this incorrectly, so that's fun.
Right.
Okay, 14 plus 7.
Oh yeah, definitely hits.
Okay, I have not been rolling the d8, the weapon damage. I've only been rolling the d6.
Oh, that's very smart.
So, because it doesn't show that on the spell page, and I never leave my spell page. So,
Yeah.
I just realized I'm like, wait, it didn't level, like, it hasn't stacked since I've leveled up. My cantrip should be better, but no, that's because it's on top of the weapon damage. So, this is going to be radiant damage. That's actually really good. That's 2 6s.
Oof.
So, that's 12 points of radiant damage.
It doesn't add your weapon.
Oh, it is.
It's like a
I
weapon
don't know
attack, so it would be your. It would either say plus your
Yeah, let me.
intelligence
sorry,
modifier, or
It's just in
yours.
2 different places, so just give me a sec. It says you make one attack. The attack uses your spellcasting ability. It doesn't say anything about the damage using my spellcasting ability. And the damage says it says plus
Attack
4.
and damage rolls is what it says.
Oh, great. Okay, so plus 4, so 12, 34, 16.
16 points. Yeah, that's great. You uppercut this thing and you watch its head splits in two, like a full crack splits through the top of its dome. It's still moderately intact. The pieces aren't fallen away yet, but it is definitely kind of fucked up. It's looking really hurt, but it does continue on its path. It seems like it can kind of continue operating.
I'll look over to Mogden with the rest of my turn and say, like, if we can get this thing up to that guy, maybe it attacked him. And then, I mean, I'm
you
not.
say this as you strike with your reaction, and then it swoops down and it's going to try and scoop you up with a grapple. So I need a strength or dexterity saving throw.
That's a fun image as you tell Mogden that and it attacks you.
Natural 19.
Oh,
As you're telling Mogden, you see it swoop out of the corner of your eye and just kind of duck and dodge as it swoops over top of you. And it is going to make a claw strike at you as it does swoop over top of you, failing the attack. Natural 19 on the attack. Definitely is going to hit. That is going to be my guy. That's 8 points of slashing damage.
Oof, that's
A
gonna
good
hurt.
damage roll for him.
Yeah.
Okay, that is his turn. Had to use your reaction for the
Mhm.
true strike, so you don't get the attack of opportunity.
Yeah.
And Mogden is just outside of range to hit. He swoops down and is just gonna into the middle here.
Kyle, how big are these things? Like, I know there's the minis, but do they look like?
So the
Are they
minis
thin and wired? Or are they thick and tanky?
The minis are smaller than the creatures should be. just because
Okay.
I had this kind of. I'm using a spined devil miniature just because it's the thing that had wings and kind of gargoyle-esque. But these are more medium-sized creatures, so they are, humanoid-sized.
Mm-hmm.
That is its full turn. DeCrane, we come back to you.
I will fire at it.
As it swoops up and around, swirling back around to dive back down towards Andy. Go ahead and make your 2 attacks.
Right. 16
Yeah, definitely hits. Jesus. A lot of 16s and 18s.
Yeah.
and 5 roll. So 10? No, 9, sorry. And another 16.
Jesus.
Hot
Never
bag.
use your cash on this.
A 7.
7. Okay.
Wow.
That's okay. This guy is just peppered with things, and the full radiant smack from the last round. Kind of one more strike will take this thing down for sure.
It's close. It looks a bit closer to me, right? Like not.
It's about 10 feet up, and 20 feet forward.
Could I, with my bonus, jump onto it?
That would be a tough bonus action call.
Like I'll climb that tree and I'll just jump.
A grapple is usually an action.
Yeah, it would have to be a grapple is an unarmed strike in the new rules, so you'd have to use your action surge to.
I'll use.
up and
No, I
do
won't use
so.
my action surge. Apparently, we will have a lot more people to fight soon.
You're not inside yet, so.
We're still outside at the beginning of the day.
Cleaning up the mess, the moat mess.
Could I throw a rock at it as a bonus?
Sure. Scoop a rock up and just
A
huck
piece
it
of its own skull from.
Yeah. Mock
Yeah.
it.
Just kind of collides with it. You try to, if you want to try and taunt it and get it to look at you and target you, I'll give you that for a bonus action.
Okay. Because then, if it does come,
Piece of
can I
its
get an
own
attack of
skull at it.
opportunity?
Possibly.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'll just show it its skull and be like, "Let's hope it makes a better weapon than a head."
Go ahead and make an intimidation check.
Ooh, okay.
I bet you're good at this.
I don't think I'm good at this. Let's see. No, the roll's already bad. 3. And
not sure
intimidation
whether
is
you've
4.
had,
Okay, not bad.
yeah.
7.
A 7. You're not sure whether you've had the desired effect. You're not sure whether this creature can necessarily be taunted if it is not necessarily fully sentient. We'll find out. But, DeCrane, that is your turn. Mogden, we come back to you.
Just finish her.
I don't know if I'm close enough. How far am I from the little baddie here?
About 40 feet, but it is 10 feet up. So 20 feet would get you within throwing distance.
Okay. Let's try. Let's try. I was gonna say, other than that, I don't know if I can see a doorway on this outer wall. Can I, from where we are?
You who have scouted this place already, you know the doorway is way over there.
Ah. Okay. Well, let's murder this gargoyle first, and then we'll go over there as a team. So he's gonna move 20 feet then, because I don't want to go too far out in case I have to rush back to the wall.
Yep.
All right. Any chance he could have grabbed that axe on the way by where it
It'll
landed?
cost you an extra 10 of movement, but yes.
Okay. Would I still be within my range to do that?
Yeah, totally fine.
Okay. So he's got his hatchet, or his bearded belt axe, and he's gonna wind up for a throw at this nasty little gargoyle. And
Reckless?
let's go reckless again. Yeah, might as well. I feel like
Well,
I'm
some
far
one
enough
guy.
down the. I'm like far enough down the pecking order that he
Oh, yeah.
seems to be disinterested in me at this point.
Yeah.
So sorry to everybody else who comes after me. Let's go for it. So he's gonna try to throw this thing. That's gonna be a 16 plus 7 to hit,
Nice.
23.
Definitely hits.
Select.
Roll again, see if you crit.
Oh, yeah,
Always
that's
roll
right.
accurate.
He did not.
No.
7 and 7.
Okay. Roll your second attack as well. Just do both. See if both hit.
Okay. All right. Oh, that's gonna be a 19 plus 7, 26.
So close.
Definite hit.
Roll again, see if you
you
get that crit.
We did. We got it, baby.
All right. You are welcome to roll the damage just to get the total if you wish, but with a crit
fine.
and a hit, you will be able to finish this creature off.
Okay. Let's just do it. I'm just curious what we would come up with here. So,
Yeah, absolutely.
Roll the first one.
so that's
Jesus.
4 plus 4 plus 6, 14.
So that would be the crit damage because
a
it knows
crit,
you just
yeah,
crit.
Yeah.
Oh,
so-
okay.
and
Plus
then
2, so 16.
16. Yeah. Okay. And then the first one would be a 4 plus 6, 10.
Woof.
So
Yeah.
26. Is that what we said?
Yeah.
It would be halved to 13, but this creature with only 7 hit points left, both axes thrown simultaneously, burst, and this creature just falls into a pile of rubble.
I feel like for all of Mogden's fuck ups, he just somehow, like, at the end, just kind of comes in and somehow manages to clean it up after he's caused all the problems off the top.
He always comes through,
That's
Moggy.
D&D, baby.
He looks to his friends. He's like, "Oh, this is not how I wanted to start the fight, but I will make sure that we end the next one on our terms."
Now, I've brought us back to our non-battle cam, but battle is not necessarily over. However, I need to basically kind of gauge your plan of action here. For the time being, there's nobody instantaneously around you. However, a flare has gone off. You know that there's likely more combatants on the way. Potentially more gargoyles, certainly more guards. Breaking initiative order for a moment, because you would have, in theory, a couple of rounds before they would reach the point of being here. Just having to run on foot to kind of get within engagement. You guys have a couple of rounds where you could reach that southeastern door. You could retreat into the bog to just kind of hole up, recoup, wait for another kind of another attempt. You have a member inside who you are not really kind of engaged in contact with as of yet, or plenty of other options at your disposal. DeCrane has spider climb to be able to get onto the wall. Perhaps there's other ways that all of you could kind of make your way up onto the wall. Is that good or bad? You know, lots of question marks for you guys. But I want to kind of know, what's the game plan from the 4 of you outside right now?
I feel like the longer we wait, the more opportunity they have to kind of reinforce that one entry point. I think, speaking as Mogden, I think he's pretty keen on breaching and getting in there while we still have some opportunity to be a little bit stealthy, because these guys haven't descended upon us yet. Based on his scouting in the past, would he know where troops would enter or exit from if they were coming out to fight? Would they use that door, or would they use a different...
They'd be headed towards that door and from the gatehouse, so they're going to be converging around you guys if you don't kind of make a move one way or another. I will add a counterpoint to your assessment based on your scouting and based on your kind of experience. If you go to push in now, which is still a viable option, but I just want to give you the kind of heads up of what you would know. If you would go to push in now, it will be a continued fight. And at what point do you get to return to stealth is the question.
You could do the parapet plan. Hopefully that's the right terminology. Like if DC, I'm not here, but Kyle, if you allow me to pitch a plan.
We can speak out of character.
DC could run up the wall with a rope, go to the very top, use his grappling hook, put a rope down, and then you guys could be up top, and then you could have high ground. And if,
But what Kyle's saying is like if we go inside now, there's going to be increased guard presence, and it'll end up being a fight. And
if you go through that southern door that Mogden knows, that is where the soldiers are going to exit from the base and from the gatehouse on ground level. The wall is not as patrolled as the ground, but still certainly possible to have guards up there as well. So, but it could be a slightly different version of a fight. If you're on the ground, you're going to have ground troops, which are going to be larger. You're going to have more of them.
Yeah,
on the wall, at least you have a chance for being able to kind of keep out of sight, and give you guys the chance to kind of reposition and think a little bit more creatively about how you approach the next thing. Gives you a little bit more of an angle there, but you know that's where the gargoyles are and where these armed guards are posted up. You're not sure how many are around.
I like that. I think that's a cool idea. I mean, knowing what we know now, I think if Mogden knows that that's where they're going to be coming out, like if there's been an alert and there's going to be a concentration of troops that are coming out to assess, then I don't think we want to use that door necessarily. So that's a good point if we can climb the wall. But I do think if we retreat and kind of wait and see, they're just going to reinforce, and it's going to be that much harder for us to buy back what we just fought through to get another opportunity to breach the structure. So if we can climb, I'm interested in that. Bears like to climb.
Well, we do have do we have a climbing Am I thinking
I
of
think
the
you
wrong game?
did buy a climbing kit, but that's not necessarily what you want in this instance.
No, Kev does have a grappling hook, though, right?
A grappling hook and a rope is all you really need in this instance. It's not a particularly high wall. Like, it looks higher when we have a miniature, but that's because I don't use a scale. It's like a 12 to 15 foot wall, which is
great.
scalable within a check for each of you.
We could also, if we'd like, we have Tootsuite, we could either use him as scout, or we could do what we've done before, which is I use like prestidigitation, probably not full light because that would be kind of suspicious, but like something on him to make him slightly more eye-catching and send him in the direction we're not. So like they could be chasing nothing. If we put him in the bog, kind of looking like he's trying to hide terribly in like a group of trees or something, and he just keeps evading them, going in the opposite direction where we are, then it could give them something to run towards instead of just being like, okay, let's go back inside. You know what I mean?
Both of that's are great plans.
Yeah,
Both of that's good.
It's cool. So like a diversion to draw the troops once they come out. Like there's something to
There's something
chase.
moving in the woods.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kev, you could get that gun up top too, a rifle if you want up top.
Okay, well,
On a
if
horse.
we send Kev up, because it took us so many games to learn that he has spider climb.
That means he's Spider-Man. He sticks to walls because of his.
We knew it, I just
species.
kept forgetting.
Yeah.
If we send you up, even just to like properly secure the grappling hook, and then we try to climb it, and then you can keep an eye like up there, kind of crouch and hide a bit, and make sure that no one else is kind of coming our way. Gargoyles are going to be annoying, but those flares are like the real problem.
I'll just shoot anybody that comes.
A perfect plan. Let's do it.
Take the high ground.
Okay. You guys begin enacting said plan.
Yeah, Allie, if it's okay with you while we're down here, I'll cast like, it's not in the specific like things here. I don't want to cast full light on him because that's suspicious. No one's going to run around with a big fucking torch when they're trying to be sneaky. I'll cast prestidigitation on him, prestidigitation, and just kind of make it look like almost, Kyle, if you'll permit it, because it says you can do like sparks or something like that. Could I do like almost where it looks like the sheen of, the sheen of metal, like kind of just like something's catching moonlight? Like a not a full color, but something where it might look reflective.
He's got the arrow too, so it might be able to reflect off the arrowhead or something too.
Another option could be I could do what we've done before, cast light and then like throw something on top of it to make it look less bright.
Well, you've got with prestidigitation, there's minor magic mark, as like a as a thing. So like could be a kind of magical color or symbol.
Okay.
With a faint kind of glitter or glow or sheen to it.
Great.
So, yeah, I'm fine with that. That'll last for an hour.
Yeah.
Now, what I'll say is light would be obvious, so there wouldn't necessarily be a need to make a check. If you're making it a little bit more subtle, I'll have to roll to see that they notice it.
Okay.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah. Like the light spell versus prestidigitation, or
Light is very, if you use light
is
it's a very obvious thing. They're going to go, what is that? And then run off after it
You
possible.
can also tell him to like be bad at being sneaky until they notice him, right? Like
He usually is.
I think I would rather not just do like the light option. I know it's more eye catching. It also seems more suspicious.
Okay.
So I think I'll try the prestidigitation option.
You give Tootsuite a little magical sheen, and Al, what do you kind of give him the command to do?
I'll just say to him, okay, just fly around, but go that way. Make sure they see you.
Kind of point to like this off to the south.
Yeah.
You got it.
Yeah.
Give just a little-
Pretend to be sneaky and lead them as far away as possible. Send him on a goose chase.
Off he goes. You could just see just kind of the glint of this weird kind of glittering tail and backside as he flies off into the south side of the wall. As Decrane, you begin to scale up with your spider climb, no check needed. You set the grappling hook and the rope. I would like a perception check from you, Decrane. And if you're trying to be stealthy as you get over to the wall, I'd like also a stealth check.
Sure. So perception 4 and 6, 10.
Great.
And
Like
stealth 16.
That's an important one. Yeah.
What's your stealth bonus?
Oh yes, I think it's 7.
Okay.
Ooh.
But it says I have disadvantage.
Disadvantage, please.
Ugh, why should I shouldn't have said that.
The honesty will be rewarded. You'll see.
20.
Hey, and it was rewarded. Very good.
It was rewarded, although not
It
used.
doesn't count.
Not used. But I mean, it's as long as rolling better is always good. When you
It still keeps it 23, I think, is the total there, which is still very, very good. You scale quiet and land kind of very cat-like, just kind of getting low. The faint firelight from the kind of brazier that's on the main tower structure kind of gives a little bit of light, but there's nothing else coming from this side. It doesn't seem like the wall here connects to like the gatehouse down below. So you don't, with your perception, you don't think anyone's coming along the kind of north wall. And you look along the east wall here, you do hear some movement like in the courtyard, but you can't see it. And you look down and you can just see a bloody mess where that other guy was killed down the way, about 80-ish feet from you. But so far so good. Seems like nobody else is up on the wall.
This is Toot Sweet's victim that you just described?
Yes.
Love it. Amazing.
For the three of you down below, I'd like athletics checks as you guys begin to try and climb the rope.
Okay. Let's go.
Oof.
Oh,
it's right. It's a plus
baby.
0. 15, which is great for me.
Yeah, very good.
25.
Yeah, just up the wall. No issue.
Very impressive.
Come along,
Andy.
twins.
Andy makes up, no problem. Enid?
9.
Enid struggles a little bit. It takes a little bit longer, a couple more rounds than I think you'd like to admit it took you. But in time, able to get up top with the help of the other two who had succeeded, pull you up and over. We'll ask for stealth checks from all three of you as well. In the stables, Brahm has kind of unhooked and taken the reins and everything, all the connections to the carriage off of you, and has led you and the other horse to one of the stables and like kind of penned you in and is kind of going through the process of brushing and cleaning. It feels nice.
He's too nice now.
So
That's the problem.
stressed now, though. I'm just like, get the fuck out of here. I'm just trying to speed this along. So now I'm just trying to be a nice horse. Just like, okay, thank you.
In fairness, he doesn't spend as much time on you as he does the other horse, who is kind of splattered with blood and mud from the battles. So he does like spend more time on them. But he's just kind of whistling a tune, doing his thing.
So what I am looking for, to not surprise you with it, Augie is wondering, oh fuck, like what are my friends up to? Did they need help? Could I set a distraction? So he immediately goes to his fiery self. And could I be looking for, if I was to set a fire here, would someone be in danger? Like, I don't want to set this on fire and kill all these horses. Like, is there something I could set on fire that could cause a distraction? And I don't want to do that right now, but I'd be looking around for this.
Yes, but Brahm has a hooded lantern, like an oil lantern, that you can easily kick over, and there's hay and there's all kinds. It's a wood structure. Like this thing would go up pretty quickly if hit. If the other horse and you were not able to escape, that horse would definitely die. Brahm, it's an open stable; he can get out. Not instantly hurt and trapped in here. The other horse, questionable. There is also, you notice, there's a fire that is on the kind of north side of the east wing that you can still see from where you are. You're a little further down. You can't see the west wing. You can't see the front of the hall from where you are. But you can see the kind of north end of the east wing where the guards were kind of sitting and playing cards, just like chatting on like kind of guard duty, just kind of very casually. There's still a fire lit there that in theory could be kind of kicked towards the east wing building. You're not sure what's in there.
I was thinking of dropping my farm to do this, but I love that you're telling me all of this as what I could do as a horse. It's very helpful.
I was assuming a horse, but
yeah. Okay, this is great. I'm just taking it all in. This is great.
Those are the two kind of main things that you can see from this point. There's no other immediate obvious signs in the kind of rest of the exterior gardens. It's winter, so everything's kind of dead and kind of mostly, there's no real vegetation. And the buildings are primarily stone structures. So
okay.
Not immediate fire.
Yep.
Atop the wall, you guys, the four of you, are currently, unbothered. The four of you kind of hold your position. Nobody seems to be making an immediate run at you right here.
Would it be reasonable, Kyle, to kind of like sneak over to where dude got marked? And this is really morbid. I don't know if Andy would want to do this. I'm thinking of trying to like move him. I can clean up the blood. I have prestidigitation. I can clean up blood and shit.
There's a lot of blood.
Reanimate?
It'd take too many turns then. Never mind.
Yeah.
Bring it back to life.
What were you trying to do with the body?
Just like dump it over the side. So like if anyone comes walking, like if it's immediately down, it's a little harder to see without like leaning way over. But
You can do that.
yeah, but then it's no
throw it
point
in
if
the
there's a
moat.
giant blood puddle and that's going to take too long to clean. People already saw a flare. They know something bad happened here. So like,
At least cut its face off.
I'm not going to pull a Hondo and try to wear this thing's face
So they
and
can't
think, you know what?
identify you.
If I wear this guy's face,
Identify.
they'll definitely think I'm him, Hondo the Blue.
DeCrane, pick up that.
It didn't work
rifle for
twice. 2 times he tried it. It did not work either time.
Sure. They didn't go great.
Hey guys, go watch our last campaign. Okay, never mind. I'm not going to do that. I think it's probably better to use our few rounds we have to try to find a more secure position.
Hideout or something, yeah?
Okay. So from the top of the wall, Cav's already technically made like a perception check to gauge the setting here. One of you with advantage can make a perception check to see if you're looking for something specific. If you're looking for somewhere to hide or just another point, like what are you trying to gauge? Let me know. But you can do so with, we'll do it in one check at advantage with everyone kind of helping.
Could I, we'd be all doing the same thing?
You're all looking, unless you're looking for separate things, in which case you wouldn't have the advantage of help, obviously.
My thought was to just peer over interior and try to get a very quick lay of the land, building layout, how many buildings, all that stuff. That was my first thought.
Okay, well, that doesn't really necessarily require a perception check. That's just what you see.
Okay. My thought was like just like try to study it and try to think, because we've never seen this thing before, like very quickly, how much can I commit to memory?
If you're looking for more of something like specific with a reason, place to hide, something to look for, you can make a check. Otherwise, I can just describe. You get over to look over the other side of the wall, and you guys are almost at the middle point of the east wing. As I've described it, is this kind of horseshoe of the east wing. There's a mirrored side of a horseshoe wing on the other side of a beautiful like kind of courtyard with a kind of fountain in the middle, and another of the west wing. These kind of very simple stone structures, slate tile roof, but single level, kind of this like ranch style kind of wraparound structure. And there's the main Carrington Hall that is in the center of the expanse here. So it rises multi-level, kind of very gothic in its stone kind of castle construction. You see a lot of arched windows and turreted areas all around, topped with kind of a similar slate tile roof. Though you do note, even without your perception checks, all of the windows, and there are many, are iron barred. Many of the doors that you're seeing are reinforced. It is a fortified structure. You do see kind of to the further south, there is a stable yard. There is a small cottage. You can see a garden around the back. And from this perspective, you can't quite see the full scope of the garden because the hall would be kind of obscuring your view. You're relatively close to like kind of you are at the tower here at the northeastern corner, looking over the kind of expanse here. It's not far from the wall to the edge of like the east wing. It's about a 20-foot gap that would kind of run the full exterior. And then obviously you're into the actual courtyard itself. From where you are to like the main hall, it's a couple hundred feet.
From where we are to that stable yard area, because we would have known where Augustus, obviously they're going to try to bring him to the stables. How far are we from that area?
Probably about 300 feet.
Okay.
I have a question. So based on Mogden's objective for Sentinel, like they've long suspected that there's stuff going on here, but he's been particular about trying to discover what's in these caravans that have been leaving. That's the one thing that he can't figure out for certain. Is there anywhere in this compound that would stand out as being like a loading dock or some kind of place where these caravans would be naturally loaded up with whatever they're carrying? Or is it the kind of thing where the carriages would just be out in the open and they would carry their payload? Or is there somewhere where this would actually take place?
What I'll say for that is go ahead and make either a straight perception check or kind of an insight check with advantage.
Let me have a look here. Perception or insight with advantage?
Yes.
Okay, let's do insight then with advantage.
And I'm kind of using insight as like trying to put yourself in the mind of how these people would think. Looking at the arrangement of buildings and structures, what are you kind of gauging that is not the obvious there? What are you seeing that how these people would utilize what you see?
So with advantage, 20. Not
Okay,
a natural 20, but 20.
Great. So you know that the sanctuary does do the as advertised that and the home for criminally insane and those who are mentally ill naturally. That is part of what this does. But there is the untoward, the dark side of it that is the become the bond mage creation factory. That is the supposed theorized experimentation on prisoners from Terminus, those who have magical capabilities, and you have now evidence to the fact that they were delivering these people here in kind of an untoward manner. So where would they have brought them? You can see the carriage actually from where you are. You guys can see the carriage is still parked outside in front of this kind of stable and cottage area.
The same carriage that came in, not a second.
You recognize
Okay.
it. You see,
Okay.
you recognize the one that has come through. The back door is still open. It's ajar. It's empty. Now, looking at the two wing structures here, they don't give you any obvious sign of like particularly well fortified or anything additional to them that would be more than the likely home for these, criminally insane and mentally ill people, the attendants and areas for their normal lives. The hall itself has a lot more space within which could be utilized for all manner of things. And if you were to be kind of thinking how the Arcana class has worked in the past, thinking about Terminus and how they've taken care of the prisoners and the mages there, somewhere that would be underground near lead and stone, dampening against the magical capabilities, that's what you'd be looking for. So any access that would lead below ground or that would be heavily reinforced with lead and iron, that's what you're looking for.
Okay.
And you would best associate it with the main hall, somehow within below like a dungeon kind of situation below the main hall, or in theory a separate underground or back facility that is hidden away further towards like the garden area back in the backside that you can't see from this point.
Okay. And so I guess, is it fair to relay that to the group then based on that observation? Or
Yeah, definitely, to give you guys kind of a point of reference.
okay. So I could say something like, from what I've understood of this place, we are looking for area that would be isolated from main house, probably placed underground or heavily reinforced. This is perhaps where dark doings are taking place and where we may find our answers of what is in that carriage. But
Now, sorry, you were going to continue.
no, go for it, man.
I will
You're
also
saving. You're
add-
doing me a favor by cutting me off.
I'll also add to your line of thinking the kind of whatever dungeon aspect here is likeliest where they are holding these people, where these potential experiments may be happening. However, equally important to the watchers and to your kind of purposes in the investigation is information. And within a structure like this, there has to likely be a place where some documentation would be. Some information could be utilized as evidence to be used against these people, or just as information that you could be pulling to connect dots all across the place. What Sentinel has given you is she distrusts those who are working here, those who are managing here, the people who are at the top level of like operating this facility. They're clearly complicit in all of these kind of things that are happening here, likely those who are enacting. So getting into their quarters, their offices, that kind of thing, that would be equally as important.
Okay. So that's actually a very good point. I think Mogden's in like smash and dash mode right now, but probably like a stealthy reconnaissance mission is not a bad
Play.
not a bad way to go if this is about like regrouping and coming up with like a bigger plan for the Sentinel crew.
And it could be, it could be breaking into that main cottage, We know. Oh, you guys don't know that, so I'm not gonna say it. I heard something when I was a horse, of like I don't know. I actually don't know. I heard something about a matron is doing something with one of the prisoners, but I don't know if that was in the main house or if that was in some sort of downstairs area. But if there's like
no matter what,
Yeah.
no matter what, our first step is getting the whole party together.
Yes, I agree.
We're both afraid for you, and you are afraid for us.
Well,
So
do
know
we
where
know?
things are, but I don't think all of us running there is a great idea because guarantee one of us will get caught.
Who's the stealthiest of you? My sister?
Or Kevin.
I have a
Disadvantage on stealth.
+4 on stealth.
I'm 7 with a disadvantage.
Nettie, what
Allie,
are you?
how long does
I'm
pass
just
without a trace
+3.
last?
Oh, can I make a note for you, Kyle? I have my amulet of proof against detection and location. Is that just something that is active while I'm wearing it? Okay.
Pass without a trace. I can't use it. I already cast it.
Oh, yeah, you're out of
Shit.
seconds. Yeah. Well, if one of you wants to get a horse, see a man about a horse, you come get me.
It might be time.
I will actually ask now for. Actually, we'll just go with passive perceptions here because you're not actively listening for it. So passive perceptions all around. I know Andy's is relatively low, so not hugely concerned here. But the for the rest of you,
I'm 19.
That's below saves, Ty.
It's just a number, right? I have 15.
15?
For
I think Kev's yours is good too, like Nettie's.
I guess this
Which
is
one?
18 passive perception, Kev.
Oh yeah. 16.
Okay. At this point, you all hear as like this deliberation has been happening, like 2-3 rounds of like figuring out what to do. Getting over to like the body of the guy that was murdered by Tootsuite. You all hear like down below some shouting, very like distant and hard to like make out. But as you kind of peek out over the wall, you do see this kind of flitting, kind of like fairy-like dancing light that dances up and around and flits in, and you see 5 guard figures sprint off into the darkness with torches up and spears and the whole nine. So a witch hunt is underway for a flying squirrel.
Good play.
Beautiful.
Good
Love
play.
it. Well done, Toot Sweet.
Absolutely.
Good Sweet is the MVP today.
Yeah.
Worked like a charm. I will also say, however, with your passive perceptions, you do hear from the north corner some more wing beat on the air.
Oh boy.
So
Okay.
movement of some capacity needs to be occurring.
Are there in the like corners of this? Are there like is there a way down from the wall, like an obvious way down or an obvious like interior of the wall?
Yeah, you can see that at the kind of tower side, there is like kind of a switchback like walkway that would lead you back, but it would lead you kind of at this point a little within view of the guardhouse.
Okay, it's probably better just to go down. I don't hear the wing beats, but who's like good? Al, you have a good perception, right?
Yeah, not too bad.
What do I have?
Is there like somewhere close to us that would be a really good, just like in between hole up spot that's not on the wall?
It would either be getting to the stables or getting into the kind of, so the horseshoe of like the east wing that is right below you is kind of like an interior kind of nook area that there's no windows looking out this way. So you would have like kind of covered or kind of hide in between, kind of in the nook of the east wing.
Okay, and that's
Immediately
towards
below
the
you.
stables?
Loosely, but they're like, that's more immediately towards you. Then you could kind of reposition towards the stables if you.
Okay. I mean, I think if everyone agrees, I think getting down off the place where there's a dead body,
Agreed.
and yeah, slowly moving our way incrementally in. If we
Find
climb
some
back
cover.
down with the way we did with the little hook and
Get ourselves a
enough.
little closer to Augie and get ourselves some cover in
Yeah.
the process. I like it.
You got it. Okay, so you guys begin to head off. I'd like stealth checks all around for you. And Augustus,
Here's where it falls
um,
apart.
as everybody is doing this, you've been patiently waiting and waiting and waiting. You hear that same shouting of a creature, something in the pog. Go get it, as they run off into the darkness.
Is my guy still with me?
Oh yeah, Brom's still working away.
Aww.
You're gonna have to murder Brom.
I've thought about just fucking punking him, just not
trample
lethal.
him. Like, I'm
Horse
so
to the
sorry.
face.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brom is, I would say at this point, he is kind of finished you guys and is working on cleaning the carriage, but the carriage is parked in front of the stables.
Fucking guy. Fucking guy. But it is an open stable? There's something blocking me from moving out?
Well, you're in a stable, which is
Okay.
closed.
Okay.
Like you are in a horse stable.
Yeah,
But the stables have an open face, kind of Adirondack style, where it's like open on one face.
Okay. Man, I don't know what to do. Like, I'm trying to put myself in his headspace of, would he blow this cover? Would he stay like this and not knowing what is going on with them? He heard one gunshot, but then no more gunshots.
I thought too about like, you're a horse. You can't even use your ring to message us.
I know.
And we can't message you either.
No.
How
think I'm
how
gonna
close do
stay
you have to be to speak to animals if you have that capability? Is it like you have
As
to be
close
right
as
up
you can
close
speak
to you
with a
guys?
person.
You can't just like, yeah, okay, I guess that'd be like telepathy.
Yeah.
Come,
you can
animal
use your
friends.
rings, though.
You could use your
Okay,
rings
I
to me.
thought it'd be absorbed like it's through the ring, but it's not.
He can't use his ring, but he can respond to your ring.
Yeah, but as a horse talking, and that's a little suspicious.
I mean, sure, he's got to be a little stealthy about it
Okay, well,
and say it was
Um,
without risk.
at some point then I wouldn't do it now. So we still have to make our checks to get down and do other things. So if Scott's going to do something, I'll let him do it first.
No, I'm gonna wait.
Okay.
I only heard one gunshot. I think in his mind, if things went really bad, there'd be a lot of yelling and explosions. So he's just gonna wait.
Sound reason. What was the stealth checks from our stealthing party?
16.
Not great.
16,
12.
me too.
12 for old
Okay.
Mog.
16 for both of you,
For old Mog.
and DC.
First roll 15.
Okay.
Second roll 2.
Great.
Plus 7, 9.
Now, the advantage you have is the eyes have now turned outside. They're looking beyond the wall, less in the wall for activity because shouting has gone on over here. Gargoyle, flare, all this stuff is exterior. So currently, as you guys are kind of making your way, you don't have anybody that you're really making your way around and hiding from. This is not a military fort. It is not in this Mogden, you do know this. They don't have a particularly large force here consistently, especially at these hours. So their numbers have already dwindled in between the investigation from your ambush, which has not yet returned, the 5 that you just sent off on a wild goose chase, 1 who is dead, and the handful that are kind of scattered around the place. You probably only have a handful of paired guards within right now to deal with. Now, there are still other things within that you don't know about because I want to make it fun, spicy. But from a guard perspective, from like what you anticipate here, you've made a pretty good mess outside to draw eyes away.
Pretty miraculous recovery, actually, I have to say. It's really impressive how you turned that around.
So, despite some of the slightly lower rolls on stealth, you don't have that many things to be hiding from currently,
Okay.
at least inside. So, as you guys get within the kind of nook of the east wall and begin to kind of scout your way around, are you attempting to kind of make your way towards a stable where you assume Augustus as horse would have been taken?
I would think so, yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
we want to get the team back together.
So, you guys make your way around the edge of the east wall and the east wing, sorry. And there's a point where you have to kind of duck below some windows at the edge of one of these kind of outlook areas. And with your stealth, are doing your best. It's late at night. Not much is really going on inside. No lights inside anything that you're seeing in the east wing. You come to the edge and are beginning to kind of look out, and you can see there's a big expanse of courtyard before the kind of pathway leads over to the stable yard. You can see there's an old man bucket and kind of cloth and rags cleaning the exterior of the muddy and bloody transport carriage, and he's working away. And you see this bobbing nose of a horse who keeps just like popping in and out of its stable. You have an idea of where the horse has been taken, but it's across a pretty big expanse of courtyard. Now, the other bonus here you have is with your perceptions. You look over, and where there was right at the corner of the east wing, there's a small fire burning, a chair, a couple of chairs, a table with cards on top. It's currently empty. Cards have been called away. So between here and the stables, you guys don't see any guard presence. There is the one old man cleaning the carriage. It's currently the only person you see active.
How far?
It'd be a 60-foot run across to get from East Wing across to the stables.
Completely open, no cover across the
Yeah. Now, what you can do is kind of keep tucked to the shadow of the east wall and get behind the stables. That would be as close as you could get.
And you
What
can
do we
non-lethal
think?
in this game, Ty, just to remind you. You can basically
Yes.
call a non-lethal if you just want to knock this guy out.
Okay, good. Yeah,
When
this.
you
I mean,
drop
I haven't.
someone to 0 hit points. You can just say non-lethal as long as what you're using can be used in a non-lethal manner.
I show mercy. Okay, so we're not close enough to this guy yet, right? We haven't. We've seen signs of guards having been there playing cards and stuff. They've moved, and then Augie's new friend is in the stable.
He's 80 feet
Presumably.
away clean in that carriage. No, that's where he's the old guy.
60, 70
Yeah.
feet away in front. Like you can see him almost.
Oh, we can see
dead line to
him.
you.
Oh, okay.
So the carriage is kind of out in the pathway.
Oh,
So you got
It's
to
kind of
make the
cleaning it in
distance.
pathway.
You could either sprint it, you could go halfway, see if he notices you, and then full run. And
Really, the,
smash him in
the
face.
question
do we
is,
want to
are you
risk
guys
it, or do we
making
want to creep?
a beeline for him, or trying to sneak around the stables?
I think we sneak to the stable. I think at this stage. What do you think?
If we can sneak around the back.
Yeah,
Yeah, I guess in theory, I kind of
seems a
assume.
bit
I guess,
reckless to not kill, but like just like bolt out and grab this guy.
well, especially since we have so much outward direction, we don't want any kind of distraction inwards. Now that all the
Agreed.
distraction's outwards,
Yeah.
I thought Augie for sure would just not be a horse anymore and just leave.
Don't want to blow my cover. I'm a horse.
But this guy's not with you right now, right?
He's
He's
like
close.
right in front of him.
Oh, he's right there. Okay, I thought maybe he'd left the
Fucking-
stable to work on the
He's
carriage.
the
I
most
guess the horse.
thorough guy in the
I don't know
world.
how best to describe. So the stable is kind of so it's about like 40 feet wide and about 20 feet deep, but is open face to
Yeah.
the courtyard to like the pathway that's in front, kind of Adirondack style where it's open on the front, and then there's a small cottage just beyond it. So the
But in
carriage is
theory-
kind of parked on the pathway in front of the stable, so he can like go in and get stuff and come back out and clean and do his thing. And then the horses. It's a small stable. It's only meant to like hold 3 or 4 at most at a time, and the carriage would fit into like the latter half once it's cleaned and taken care of.
I guess the horse can't knock this dude out.
Good.
So there's
Just
no-
get out of its locked stable first.
So there's really no
Or do
way
you, like,
unless.
your back's turned. Like, could you?
I have no
Why
idea
are
you
you
guys are here,
for?
though. I have no
No,
idea.
I know that's true. Mine. Once we were holed up, I did say I was going to message him.
You're still in the open, like realistically.
Never
You're
mind.
not hold.
Never
You
mind.
guys are at the corner of an exterior of a building.
Okay.
Did
Why don't
we
you guys do a little
split
sneak?
Yeah, I was gonna say, did we sneak to the stable,
Yeah.
or do we send like a group to the stable, and then if the horse situation is being attended to, if that kind of draws focus away from our friend Brom, and then I don't know, conk him on the head or something when he's looking the other way, and stuff him in a stall or something.
I think all of you do that.
Yeah.
Okay, so we stay together and we sneak then.
Yeah, that's
You,
a party.
you could all do an attack at the same time and
You already
just
split.
honk this guy the fuck out.
It's going to be Brom's disadvantage perception check.
Versus
See
your stealth.
what he hears. Great. Okay. Versus stealths. Hit him up.
Kev, you have disadvantage.
Good grade or a bad grade?
Cool. Natural 19.
Nice.
You're
21.
That's a 9.
Bless him. Bless
You're
Mikey.
good.
Bless
Okay.
Mr. Mogden.
Kev, what do you got?
First roll 10,
Okay.
That would be good.
and second roll 8.
Still good.
Okay.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
He rolled
Yeah.
that.
He rolled very poor.
That's very
He's
lucky
Very old.
for us.
Oh,
Enid, as long as you don't get a 1, I think you're fine.
She did not. Yeah.
No,
Alright.
we're good. They got 22 twice. That's insane.
Nice.
The 4 of you under cover of night and just quietly keeping to like kind of the grass, what little grass and dirt is left here on the closer to the exterior of the wall rather than the kind of dampening your footsteps, are able to get around while you hear this guy just kind of whistling and doing his little work and doing his thing, just humming to himself. You get behind the stables, and like I said, it's about 30, 40 feet long. However, you do have some windows into the stables that are kind of barred windows that you kind of look inside the stables, one of which backs onto each of the horses. Augustus, you hear footsteps outside the window behind your stables, and definitely recognize the shapes of your allies.
I just whinny a little bit. Just a quiet one.
What do you guys do?
Do we remember which one he is? Like, do we remember what he looks like in a
I'm
horse
the pretty
form?
one. I'm the beautiful one.
I think Enid, at the very least, would definitely remember.
Okay.
Yeah.
We freed the wrong
We
horse.
grabbed the wrong horse. Yeah.
Just shaking my head now.
I'll just kind of look at him and then just with my ears.
And with my big horse ears, I would just like do the same thing to you.
There he is.
So the back of the stable, Kyle, it's not like open air on both sides. There's like one entrance in it. Okay.
It's the whole front entrance, the whole like 30, 40 feet is kind of open air. However, you do have the window here that you could at least communicate through here, and you can see actually a little. You can see the carriage. You can't see Brom because he's kind of down on his knees working on some of the mud and stuff of the wheels. But you do see the carriage, so you can see at least through to positioning.
Ollie.
Can
Sorry, Kat is being awful.
So you guys tell me, like, you could try and conk out Brom. We could try and not conk out Brom.
well, I was gonna say like, oh, go ahead, Scott. Sorry.
No, it's like, I'm just thinking, should I stay a horse for our getaway? Or should I help with the stealth to find some stuff? We have to get away.
How much time do you have left in your?
I'm sorry, are you talking about like in the future after we collect a bunch of evidence? Are you going to be a horse this whole time?
How are we going to get away? Like, oh, this is just what we're talking about.
We
I think you could
hook
be
you
more
up to the
useful
cart
as
again.
yourself.
Kyle, I re-upped just when I got here. I had to burn a spell slot for it. That's the only
You
thing
still
is I have
a good hour and a half.
I have one spell left, and I can use that for a wild shape or a heal. So it's just important to not waste a wild shape.
Yes, but I'm concerned, like, otherwise you're just in this stable for the next
Can you move
hour.
around? I can go down the stairs with you guys. I can,
No, you
I
can
can
You're,
kick someone in
You're-
the face.
Scott, you're a draft horse. Do you remember
I'm
that?
a
You're
beautiful
not just
horse.
a normal horse.
You're a Budweiser Clydesdale. Like,
They're big. They're big motherfuckers.
So you guys are outside my window. You can just tell me right now if I should drop it or not. I just am.
I'm wondering
Kinda
what if we like hide in a stall and we get you to start like kind of acting all crazy as if to say
I can do that.
like and then Brom's like, oh, I'll come in and
Yeah.
see what's going on, and then we just like snatch
Non-lethal
this
hit
guy
him.
and knock him out and put him in the stall.
Done.
Yeah, we could knock him out and just lean him against a wall and make it look like he passed out.
Passed out.
Kyle, I
Got
start
kicked in the head
whinnying.
by a horse.
I
Like,
start
making liquid.
whinnying, kicking my stall a bit, making some
Instantly.
noise.
Brom, settle down, you. What gotten into you? He kind of stands up. He makes his way over and he kind of holds up the bag of oats. Come on now, settle down. It's okay. It's okay.
I feel so bad about it.
Beating
I'm
you
like,
out.
He reaches up to kind of pat your nose and
If at that point, I guess I could try to smoke him in the back of the head with my stick. He's just a normie, guys. I'm assuming he's just a normal dude.
He seems
Not
like a
gonna take
really
that-
nice young
We
man.
all do not need to team
He's
up and try to hit him in the back of the head, or we will kill him no matter how hard we try not to. So we just need like one person to go up.
if you guys are gonna hit this guy, you're gonna.
It shouldn't be the bear.
Get Allie to do it with like she's small at the very least, and she's sneaky.
Allie rushes up with her battle loot and just hits him with the broadside.
Oh,
Boops him. Boop.
Yeah.
Not the axe side, just the broadside.
Alan,
do I know any pinches? Do I know any like
Are you?
Get
I
him
don't
his
think-
nerve.
Vulcan
I don't think you got any Vulcan pinch skills just yet.
What do we not know about her?
Just
Okay,
yet.
should she roll an attack? A little storm cleaver?
If you're gonna go and try and knock this guy out, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
You have
Otherwise,
advantage.
I can try my stick, but like
You had been stealth certainly from his sight. You have advantage.
boop.
Can I like? Yeah, how am I gonna do this? The only other thing I can think of is like if I like hop on him so he like falls forward and gets knocked out. So that
Whatever you want.
Oh,
do
You
you
could
not
double
have,
kick
like,
him,
I feel so
double kick him
bad.
Don't you
into
have
it.
a little sword that you can like flip around the hilt or like a dagger or something?
Any of your weapons you can
I
use
do.
non-lethally.
That is true. Okay, I do have
you're not
the
gonna-
longbow. The longbow's wood, right? I feel like that would be better than like a metal handle from
Sure.
on this poor old man. that's
Enid's just
clearly
looking
been
at all her
taking a
stuff.
great care of my brother as a horse.
Go ahead and make your attack roll at advantage.
Okay. Oh, I'm so
Sorry.
sorry, man. 9 and
That'd be at least a 10.
15.
There you go.
Can you imagine we boop him and it doesn't work? It's like, oh no.
He's the big bad.
No.
Then we would have to kill him.
There's a moment of you guys watching Allie just like tiptoe, and or watching Enid. She just doesn't want to do this, and she's just standing behind him as he's just like, "It's okay. Oh, come here. You're such a big horse. Oh, it's all right." And he's just scritching. I guess this is not. I get Enid just. Oh my! He goes down.
I'm going to the 9 L's, guys.
He falls, and you are able to hide him away in your stall.
Okay, I'll drop
Does he have like a little, like, is there like a little like stable hands like bunk or something in there, or like where does he stay? I wonder if we could just tuck him in.
Augustus actually saw where he came from. There's a small cottage that's right next door.
Can't risk it. What if his wife's in there? I'm gonna drag him
We'll
into the
kill her,
stable and
too.
shut the door. Just put some
Kill
straw
Put some
on
hay
him.
on his head,
Yeah.
under his head.
Put a little piece in his mouth, just hanging out, like he's just having a little nap.
What the hell took you guys so long?
Gargoyles and
What is gargoyle?
almost got shot. Oh well, I guess we don't know what a gargoyle is. Big flying statue thing, and
Okay.
yeah.
I
sorry.
misstepped, and this caused a larger problem than expected.
Okay.
Gonna give
Well,
me some grace there, but okay.
it seems like the guards left in a hurry. So whatever we're gonna do, let's do it quick.
Oh yeah, let's see how long till we can keep him busy, because that's gonna be entertaining.
Yeah, he's distracting them right now.
Okay, I got two things. One, I noticed some stairs down there that maybe lead to where some prisoners might be. Or two, I was thinking, I overheard them talking something about a matron. She sounds really scary, and that she was going to be with one of the prisoners, or that they should send more prisoners to the matron. And I'm thinking either she'd be down there or she'd be maybe in the cottage.
Well, potentially our option, like, do we want to find evidence, or do we want to find bad things happening? Or do we find evidence of the bad things happening? Because I mean, like, fancy people like this keep records. If she's doing experiments, then the findings of those experiments are probably written down somewhere, probably in an office.
If we got that, that's probably better, because if we get in another fight, I think we're screwed.
No,
I
this
have,
proof would be much helpful to us.
I got 4 spells left.
What if we tried to break into that main cottage building and try and find an office or something?
Main cottage, or like the main, like the big
The main building.
main hall area? Okay.
The main hall would be Carrington Hall.
Let's try and break into Carrington Hall.
Does it look pretty dark at this point? Like it's after hours in there, and
It's 11 p.m. at this point. Like it's dark. You would know that there is likely some activity still, given what is happening all around here. Like there's been some increased activity, so it's certainly not everyone is down for the count. Augustus at least has heard that the matron is still actively doing some shady shit. So she's up. The archdeacon is also still active. There was also an inquisitor still kind of kicking.
do the Carringtons live in that house as well? Is that their residence?
No, that you do know that they kind of donated it to the cause, but they live in Karden.
Okay, so it's not like Lord and Lady, Harrington are gonna be, or Carrington are gonna be like walking around in their nightgowns and their after
God,
hours.
I hope so.
I like it.
Okay.
Scott, do you remember where the people were, like, when you were a horse and then they're like, oh, yeah, here are things that are happening. Did they go back into the hall, or did they go somewhere else?
They went into the hall. Says my DM.
So let's go
we
find an
know they're in
office.
there.
Let's go find an office and some proof. Because I think for Mogden's purposes, like obviously he doesn't want to put you at unnecessary risk. Obviously this is already pretty risky, but for me, I need to bring something concrete back to the group to say, like, this is what we've discovered is going on in here, and now like we can formulate a plan, our party. But I need your help to do that. So if we can find some hard proof without having to, battle any more people or kill any more horses or knock out any more, then like it's probably not a bad day at the office.
Okay, well, not to walk it back, but then if the Inquisitor went into the hall proper, should we avoid that to try and go to the jail to find evidence? Or that's presuming there's some sort of underground place where the prisoners are kept. What's the better play? Go to a place where
What I'll say quickly is you can go check that door in like a 5-second run off, look down there and just see what you see. Easier than having to try and figure out how to get inside and scope that out.
Do you guys just
let's
want to
look
quickly
at it,
check
sure.
that out? Yeah, let's go.
Start with what's close by, sure.
Because it is essentially, from exiting out the stable and looking, there's the small cottage here that was where Brom was living. You're kind of tucked away from all of the main courtyard at the front at this point. There are lots of windows on this side that you do have to kind of keep an eye on, but given the hour, you don't see any kind of candlelight. You don't see anybody moving within as of right now. But that could be something to at least keep an eye towards. People could see outside, obviously. But this, the Carrington Hall at the southeastern corner of Carrington Hall is where you saw this kind of descent. So you guys kind of run down the path to the kind of backside of the hall, and just before it kind of turns around, and you can see this kind of sprawling garden area. There is this descending stone stairway that leads down to about 10 to 15 feet down. There's a black iron door.
Can I go all the way down?
Yeah. It is cold to the touch. It is heavily reinforced, and it is locked.
Locked? None of us are rogues. None of us have like thieves ways to do these things.
No, but this could be a way out too. If this leads into like a basement or something, if it's up against the hall, we know it goes into the hall at some point. This could be an exit strategy if it's locked from the inside.
Is there any way?
No, maybe it's a key, but
like perception-wise, is there any way to like listen for? I mean, I can't imagine we can't open it, but if we could listen, I feel like Mogden's probably got the strength to pry this door with an axe. I would think if we want to force it, maybe, but I don't think we want to do that until we know if there's anything on the other side that we would be trying to avoid outright.
I'll say two things. One, absolutely, you can do a perception check to try and listen through and see what you can hear. But I will say that looking at the reinforcement of the iron door and the stone surrounding, to try and break through would take not just your weaponry, like you would require some specific tools to try and break your way through this. And it would be loud. It's not something that's going to be done quietly.
Okay. But
not to say that it can't be done, but it would be a loud attempt.
Well, let's listen at the very least, just to see what's going on in there.
And make a perception check.
Augie, you're down there, or do you want me to come down there and have a listen?
I'm down there, but we can both do it. Do you want to do that?
Yep.
Sure, let's do it.
Ogden puts his ear up top. You put it. You're leaning like through his legs, and then the bottom.
22 for me.
14 for Mogden.
With a 14, unfortunately, just the dampening of the stone and this thick door doesn't give you much of anything. You don't even hear kind of any sound through. With a 22, able to kind of get within, like, put your ear right to the keyhole, and there is a keyhole. Big
rabbit ears.
A 22 does pick up faint sound of, sounds like a male. It's at least a lower register in pain. Yelling. Pain yells, and just a faint sound of like crackle and buzz of electricity.
Yikes! I would relay that
echoing off stone, distant, but through it.
I'd relay that back and say like, that might mean we have an opportunity here to go to the hall. If maybe that's the matron doing her thing. So why don't we go back up and tell the others we should check out the hall?
This sounds probably safest bet. Yes, I agree.
But then, Mogden, we gotta come back here, and we gotta finish the job with these monsters.
I never turned down opportunity to smash.
I give you the tiniest fist bump to your huge bear paw.
He fist bumps you back. He's like, all right.
Okay, let's go.
Almost knocks him over.
He's like throws you through the wall.
Yeah. As you guys regroup with the intent now to know that you have this doorway down here, but it is locked. It's going to need a key, or at the very least, someone's going to have to get real lucky with some lock picking. You don't even have the tools for it. So key would be ideal. You guys are going to try and make your way into the hall here. By which manner do you intend to do so?
I was asking if there was a servant's entrance. Is there something other than the main entrance that we see on the outside of this hall somewhere?
Not on this side. So you'd have to make an investigation check and make your way around the other sides to see.
It's probably a good idea.
I'd rather not go through the front door, but...
There aren't any windows that would open. Like you said, most of them are barred, but on the main floor, there wouldn't be any windows that would be like open to individual rooms that we could...
At a quick glance, you don't see anything on the, certainly not on the main floor. Any of the windows you do see have bars around them, and it does continue through here. However, if you want to, you can make a perception check to see if you see anything on the second floor, and Andy, go ahead and make an investigation check to see if you guys can find another entry.
All right.
Wow, I've been rolling actually really good tonight.
It's a
Oh, last game.
19 on perception.
Nice.
Investigation?
Yep.
22.
Okay, great. So very quickly, you guys make your way along the east side, where you've already kind of retraced your steps to get down where this lower entrance was. Turn the corner around to the back side of the south wall of the hall itself, and it's not just a straight wall. Like a lot of the edges of the building here are curved. There are turrets and tower bits and pieces kind of all over the place, and around the south corner here, just about 10-15 feet in, there is an entrance that is kind of stairwell up into a very tight, smaller kind of door that does appear to be more just standard kind of wooden door. You would kind of connect with kind of servant's entrance or something of that like with the perception check to look to see if anything kind of second floor access. Middle of the hall, second floor, has a very small balcony that would have a doorway access of some capacity. You're not sure, can't quite see like whether it's locked or barred either, but there's at least a doorway and a balcony.
Good news is we can always send DeCrane out to
That's what I
look
was
through
thinking.
windows.
That's
Yeah,
true,
that's good.
actually.
And I think do the same play to get us up there. Like if we all wanted to go to the balcony, you do the rope trick.
There is
Roof access.
There is a tower as well that rises off of the far side corner that also has some windows. No, not actually a balcony, but the windows don't appear to be barred based on your perception.
Okay.
So two options there, but there is an entrance on this lower floor.
I feel like that's probably the most efficient and less obvious way if it's clear, but maybe it's good to note that we have like a potential egress on the second story, unless you want to send the crane up there for any reason, but maybe it's worth checking your side door first.
I mean, we can at least see if it's locked.
Yeah.
Okay. And you rush up, and the door does kind of pull open at your pull.
Can I try to listen to see if I hear anybody?
Perception check, please.
There's the not so good roll. 12.
I could do a perception check as well. Is that possible?
In this instance, it's instantaneous.
The
Like,
one,
what does
okay.
Andy hear as she goes? Seems quiet. You kind of peer through a little bit just to try and see. It's dark on the inside. You don't see any immediate light. It seems to lead into a pantry storeroom, and you can see a kitchen beyond.
Okay. Wave everyone in.
Okay. You all begin to make your way inside of Carrington Hall for the first time. I will now need renewed stealth rolls as we enter into the
So many stealth checks.
Okay, let's get a good
Who
one.
still rolls here?
Okay.
Oh, thank God.
Why did you have to say crucial, Kevin?
17.
23.
Ooh.
5.
If Augie rides on Mogden, does that become my stealth?
Fortunately, no.
Tapping away.
First roll 7,
Oh boy.
second roll 5. So that's
Oh my
12.
God.
That's 12 for him. I rolled a 3. And so then plus 2, 5.
Got a lot of fives here.
Because I had disadvantage.
3
Andy
fives.
and Enid.
I also rolled a 5.
Okay.
Well, how did
I rolled 17.
I
a natural.
don't know.
Is that a natural one for you?
It was I got a 2.
Oh, close.
So
Close.
half the party is really quiet, the other half is not.
All right. So bunnies, not great.
Bunny's not built for stealth.
Allie, is your dex only a +3?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
At her level 4, I think we bumped up her wisdom.
Mm.
Okay. Nothing immediately befalls you, obviously. You just make your way into this kitchen.
I hit some cutlery on the way in.
There's a small kind of pantry on the immediate room, this kind of storeroom. You can see, you make your way into the kitchen where you see very quickly like a large preparing surface, and you can see within the storeroom some kind of preparations to make pretty subpar gruel and dehydrated potato flakes and hardtack bread and old cheese. Nothing that is particularly appetizing. Clearly subpar food meant for the patients, and you imagine there to be finer food for the staff somewhere else. However, the prep surfaces are bare. Everything here is quiet and cold. However, there are 2 exits out of here. Both lead in the same direction, both leading north, but there is one on the east side close to you and one on the opposite side west.
Closest.
grabbing some bread.
Have a
It's
little,
good
have a
call.
little snack. Some
No,
potato
to
flakes.
fucking bribe a dog or something later. I don't know. It doesn't hurt to have something.
Is it? Can Mogden do a little perception check to see what might be beyond each of those doors?
The doorway?
Definitely. Which do you want to start with? East or west?
Let's go east first.
Perception check there.
That's going to be a 24.
Nice.
Okay, great. So, ear to the door and just cracking it ever so slightly. And it is kind of like a swinging door. So you kind of crack it, just push in a little bit just to kind of get eyes on. You see a long hallway. At the far end of the hallway, you do see and hear with a very perceptive perception check there, a automaton, one of the constructs that you'd seen outside, this big,
Oh no.
about 10 to 12 feet tall, pretty wide in terms of construction, and you can see in one of its hands, it has this kind of like faintly kind of sparking rod device that is giving a faint kind of blue arcing light as it's at the top of its face. Obviously it doesn't have like eyes, kind of just has one big kind of globe that is faintly light orange that is giving a faint kind of torch light as kind of illuminating where it's looking, and it's walking in your direction, but it's so far down the hall it actually isn't going to make it down your hall. It's going to turn in the time that you're kind of watching. You watch it kind of cross out of sight.
So is that the main hall? Like, that would be like one of the main arteries?
It seems like looking down this hall, you can see almost all the way straight to the main entrance. Like you can almost see into like the foyer. This hall would go all the way into. You can see again with very high perception, like a couple of doors off to the right. There's maybe some other entrance on the left, but you're not sure. But you can see the large kind of foyer and the big arched doorway at the far end of this hall.
Okay, cool. So before he shares with the group, maybe he'll do his little check of the west door and hope for another high roll. Oh, baby. Nat 20 plus 5.
There we go.
Nice.
Excellent. Okay, so you rush over to the west side, and this doorway actually leads to a stairwell. Spiraling staircase instantly kind of leads up. The door pulls in. There's a little landing area, but it begins to climb up and away with a quick ear to it. You pause, and up above, perhaps just some of the echoing off the stone of the tower, kind of amplifying some sound. You do hear two voices kind of chatting. One seems older, the other younger, both male. You can't quite make out what it is they're saying. Like it seems like an echoed conversation through stone halls, not far off, but certainly on the second floor. With a natural 20, though, I will say they are not in the room directly above. It seems like they're kind of passing, and it's already beginning to kind of faintly move away from whatever is directly above you.
Would that nat 20 be able to discern the tonality of their voice? Does it sound aggressive? Does it sound soft or casual or?
Absolutely, yeah. Like you gauge that it's not aggressive. It is more just kind of casual conversation. It's low, and perhaps like hushed. So perhaps what they're speaking about is in a nature in which they don't want to be overheard. But they're also not making any particular like ways of like trying to hide or obfuscate themselves necessarily.
Okay. So without making you suffer through a Mogden monologue, I'm just going to say that all of that was relayed to the team here after observing the two options. What do we think?
Why don't we go up these stairs right now? I don't want to go near that automaton.
Yeah, I figure two options would be wait for that thing to pass and then continue to check doors, or we follow the staircase and go after the mysterious.
I say go upstairs. If I'm keeping stuff, it's upstairs in like an office on the second floor.
Okay.
If I'm like a fancy person, I want to be up high.
I don't want to be with the help.
It's like the top level office, right?
As far away from the potato flakes as possible.
Yeah.
Right. Stale
All right.
potato flakes.
Let's
Okay.
do it. Let's go up.
I'd like your marching order, please.
I'll go first because I'm very perceptive.
I'm not.
I am also
Be in the
very
middle
perceptive,
somewhere.
so I can go right after you.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll go in the middle in case I need to like rush to the front or rush to the back. I can.
Love it.
I'll go last.
I will go second last.
Perfect.
This is a very standard marching order for us, guys.
Mm-hmm.
It's all good. Still want to make sure. Augustus and Enid, you guys lead the charge up the stairwell. Careful footsteps as you make your way up this kind of spiral stairway. And you come to an exit that is an open kind of exit, but you do note that the stairwell does continue up another kind of spiral up a little further, but it does let off here at the second floor. Instantly, you can see it lets off at a carpeted kind of landing hallway, and there are an area that about maybe 20 feet back, the way you would have come back to the east, it ducks in a way to the south, but the bulk of everything kind of expands out to the north here. Instantly, kind of looking to your left, there's a hall that rises up a couple of steps into a finer looking room in design. That its doorway is open, and inside you can, at a quick glance, you can see like there's a large table and some bookshelves and things like that. There's that room. There are two other doorways you can see on the opposite side from where you are, and basically you can see the top of the stairwell. The main stairway that would be kind of coming up to this main landing area is kind of central of this space. This landing is connecting all this open second floor area. With your perceptions, I guess it's needed, you do see two figures on the opposite side, now kind of walking headed north on the other side of the room, on the east side of the second floor. If you guys are not careful, in theory, they could see back this way.
Okay, so maybe duck down, just watch them for a bit, just to see, let them get a little farther away.
You guys hold for a minute. These guys can continue their walk, and you lose sight of them within 10, 15
I think I saw an office if we want to quickly check that out.
Yeah, if this is the library looking room with the bookshelves, and
Mhm.
it's probably as good a place to start as any.
But then there also is a third floor potentially, Kyle, with the spiral stairs?
This leads up further, so you're not sure what's directly
Okay.
above here, but there's something. And there are other rooms on this floor that are unseen from here.
Why don't we
Maybe-
check out the little...
Yeah, let's
First room?
clear this hallway first.
Let's do it.
All of you guys head kind of quickly and quietly on the carpeted floor here up to the set of stairs into this next kind of finer room in design and furnishing. You make your way inside. There is a door, if you wanted to close it behind you, that would kind of close you off from the hallway. It was left open previously. Recall. Instantly, you guys see there's a kind of plush seating area as you kind of come in here in front of a large fireplace. A portrait of a posh man and woman sit above the mantle. And beyond this immediate kind of sitting area is another elevated space. It rises 4 or 5 stairs to a domed tower section. It kind of rises over the northwest corner of the hall. This expands quite a ways, this space.
Go ahead, Kyle, sorry.
It's okay. In the center of that space, you see a large round table that is surrounded by like a dozen or so chairs. It seems like a rather large, potentially dining area or meeting room of some capacity. Around the exterior of the room, there are kind of crystal decanters, various liquors and spirits, crystal glasses and flutes and dishes and fancy china for dinner functions, that kind of thing. That's what you can see immediately.
What were you going to say, Ty?
I was gonna say, can Mogden do like a perception check for? You didn't make mention of a desk, so I'm not sure if there's anything in there like that. But is he able to kind of look to see if there's anything of, like a documentary nature, like any kind of folders or paperwork or stuff like that might be in that space?
This will be investigation, but at advantage given your cryptology kind of background, looking for secret and hidden information.
That's
Cool.
right.
Finally, someone who's good at investigation.
Well, not really. 15.
That's pretty good.
First one.
And 3.
That's how we get
Take that
advantage.
15.
Take that 15. Yeah.
In the immediate space here, there are some bookshelves, but none of the titles jump out at you as anything interesting, and certainly not like folders and hidden information kind of situation. More of just like places to store books. Up on the second level, as you guys kind of begin to fan out and start poking and looking in different places, you kind of come up into this where the table area is, and you do see displayed prominently on a raised table, a table lectern actually. You see a large tome. Its pages are yellowed with age, though they still kind of pop with color as the borders and illustrations of an illuminated manuscript seem to have managed to stand the test of time. This seems like a prominent text, not necessarily what you were looking for in terms of like evidence, but go ahead and make a religion check for me.
If I see big fancy book and he's looking at it that looks historical, I would also absolutely peek over his shoulder.
You can make a religion or history check as well.
A 5. That's not super helpful.
That's okay.
It doesn't jump out at you as to like what this is. It's clearly important, but you're not sure what it is.
23 history.
Andy instantly recognizes this as one of the volumes of a codex of holy texts known as the Edict of Honor. There are 4 volumes. With the 23, you know the 4 volumes are aspects of virtue and compassion, might and morality, the Book of Crimson Tears, and the Last Testament of Kieran. They are the recorded tales, parables, and words of Kieran, written by the first knights who rode at his side following the first light of the Dark Ages. You know, very much a classic collection of religious texts for followers of Kieran. This, with the 23, you note is Volume 2, Might and Morality. Though notably not an original printing, it is still clearly an old text, likely a pre-revival era, if not early post-revival. So 600-700 years old.
Should we steal it? It's 600 years old.
Just wondering, do we want to raise suspicion? Is there any reason to take this? I mean, you would maybe know more from your travels. I'm wondering from like a stealth operational perspective if it's just enough to be able to report back on it. But if you guys think we should take it, Mogden could be persuaded.
Is this something that Kyle, like, these are like the kinds of tales that like the kinds of tales I know, where if you follow this religion, everyone knows these stories. It's like church parables. Like everyone knows these stories. And this is just like the fanciest version of these.
Yes.
That like having this as like a status symbol.
It is a status symbol, as like it is in the same way that you would own art. This is, you know, this is a classic text. This is an illuminated manuscript of like that has been obviously well maintained and taken care of, and is in a place of prominence of like, this is something I have. This is a you know, both as like a devotion of sign of my devotion, but also a sign of my privilege. Quickly,
this room kind of very much seems like a meeting room where you bring in prospective donors to like wine and dine them and be like, look, we got the fanciest manuscripts.
You've nailed the purpose of the committee hall.
Rich mahogany.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And quickly looking at the page that is open, that this book is open to, you recognize the story. You recognize the story here as one of many of Kieran's. You know, there's gold leaf and blue borders of illuminated, illustrated manuscript page with text, and there's an illustration of a knight silhouetted by a burst of sunlight, blade kind of risen overhead, which glimmers in radiance, and the text is very much, it reads, "With each illuminated step, the darkness fled from him. From the depths of dusk, nor 'neath the earth farthest from the sky, the light was his, and the darkness could not overcome it. Be the light," he said. "The capacity for evil lives in every heart and soul. When darkness and foul days are all around them, evil will thrive. You need only a glimmer in such depths to ignite the spark of hope. Be the light." It seems like a particularly marked page by these people.
There's like 2 things that go through Andy's mind. One is immediate disappointment that this isn't new stories, because she doesn't give a shit about first edition. She's not a book person. She's an oral tradition person. Doesn't give a shit about how old or cool the book itself is if the stories are the ones that anyone can hear. 1. 2, as a legitimately religious person, is like more pissed at like the idea of using religion to do the heinous things that as a reason to do the heinous things they do here.
Can Mogden do an Arcana check on this book?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I don't know if there's any reason to suspect it outright, but I think he's curious. I think he's enamored by this. He's enamored by this tome, and And
Go ahead and make your Arcana check with advantage based on your cryptology as well.
Okay, so that's a 13 and an 8. Burr, 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 burr. 13.
13 is enough to gauge that this text is not magical in nature.
Okay.
However, the instinct was correct, as kind of both of you, with the kind of combined checks here. The original texts of these are religious artifacts, and artifact as in artifact item within the world of Vigil. The original text, the codex, the holy texts of Kieran, are magical items. This one is just a copy.
Just a repro. All right.
Well, there's nothing else in this room. We might want to keep moving.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, let's clear out of here.
There's no evidence. Like, it doesn't look like this room's been used recently, Kyle, right? Like, where there would be left out anything, notes from the last people they hosted or anything like that?
You don't see any sign of notes with your kind of group passives. There are some drinks, some glasses on the tables, and signs that people have sat in the chairs at least today. Like in the lower area. This upper kind of nicer table area doesn't look like it's recently been used.
Okay. Then I think, we need to keep moving and try to find what we can find to try to...
Do we want to potentially clear a couple of these other rooms on this level before heading upstairs, just to see if there's anything of interest in those other couple of doors?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, sure. You guys make your way back out of the doorway here, and Enid and Augustus, who had been leading our charge earlier, and who also both rolled the worst stealth checks. As you guys go to leave the room, either through a little bit of clumsiness or a little bit of haphazard want of desire to try and pick something up and take it souvenir-wise, or just because it's interesting, a little bump against one of these decanters sends a crystal glass shattering on the ground.
We were doing so well, too.
No one's gonna hear that.
There's an immediate kind of coming up the stairs of the main hall.
Is that the one behind us or down the hall?
So it would be kind of out and around the main hall, coming up from what the automaton Mogden spotted in the foyer, coming up these main stairs to the second floor landing.
Why don't we go up the third floor?
That's what I'm thinking. Can we like bolt up those stairs before this thing comes into line of sight?
I'm going to ask for a renewed stealth check all around.
Come on,
Thank God.
baby.
19.
Okay.
21.
Oh, Allie.
We're going to end
12.
here. I got a 9.
12. Kev, what'd you got?
I got a 4.
4.
Yeah,
Still
we've done the opposite now.
Is it
Roll again, though. Get that 1.
17?
Okay.
But your stealth is a decent bonus, if I remember.
It's 7, so 11.
Okay, 11's not terrible. At this point, you guys are able to rush up into this kind of into the tower once more, as the automaton you hear kind of rushing behind, coming up the stairs behind. Make your way up into this tower, and you rise up into what appears to be kind of like a small chapel or religious study. You see royal blue banners with the golden lion and rising sun halo symbol of the honor-bound king, hanging between shelves of books, candles, folded cloth, brass or bronze goblets and pitchers kind of set within the shelves. This immediately kind of steps out into, it's a pretty small space at the top of this tower. It's maybe 30 feet kind of round. There are a couple rows of benches to serve as pews to a desk at the far front of the room that is backed by an arched window that is covered by a thick curtain. But you can see the arch is kind of there, but the curtain obscures. On the desk, you can already see there are several pendants of Kieran that are kind of sat out on the top of the desk. Just the symbols, not the chains, just symbols. That's what you see immediately.
I'm drawn to that desk.
Yeah, let's
Point to
poke
that desk
around.
for Mogden. Mogden, you're the best at looking for these things because you're...
Yeah, I've got the cryptology training. So in that case, yeah, I think it's probably worth having a look at this desk a little closer.
Go ahead and make investigation.
With advantage?
Got it.
With advantage, yep.
Come on, Mogden.
19.
Ooh, good.
We like that, but a 20 would be better. Another 19. Double 19s. Okay.
Still pretty good.
We'll take it.
You quickly begin to go to the desk. The drawers are notably not locked or kind of blocked in any way, which immediately gives you the feeling that there's nothing going to be of major importance in this, unfortunately. However, you do find a stained brass or bronze bowl full of these thin chain-like necklaces. Notably, immediately an iron scent rises from the chains. Without the need for a medicine check, you recognize the stain and scent of blood on these chains. And it appears to be in amongst some other symbols of Kieran. And there's 2 or 3 well-thumbed kind of what would be like the equivalent of like a Bible of Kieran, like the most common tome of religious texts. That seems to be it.
Can Mogden do an Arcana check on this bowl of chains?
You can do religion check.
Religion check, okay.
Anything behind this curtain?
You peer to the curtain, and there is a very small balcony that this window opens out to.
Okay.
That you can kind of exit out to the balcony that Mogden had seen from below at the very southwestern corner of the tower.
So it's going to be a 12 on the religion check.
Okay. Not magical in nature, but in some religious circles, especially the kind of darker sides, self-flagellation can be seen as an act of devotion to your god, or it can be enforced as an act of penance and to purify the body of driving out evil spirits or impurities of the soul.
Okay.
It's not common practice by Kieran's devotees, though it is certainly possible that people here could be seen as extremists.
Yeah, these people are fucked.
Okay. So that's it for the desk then. There's nothing else of note there.
In this one, unfortunately.
Okay. Okie doke.
Can I ask a clarifying question? Or I guess so we came up into like this little round, the tower. Is this like we just come up into this room, or is this like we're in the attic and this is the only thing?
This is the top of the tower that kind of rises up out
Cool.
and is just this space. Doesn't
Can I-
lead out anywhere else?
Can I join Augustus when he pulls back the thing and just check if the window's locked? And if it is, unlock it as a possible escape route later?
It is not locked, but you guys could.
Okay.
You can check that it's open.
Just in case we ever want to come out here and get onto the roof. Like, I wanted to make sure that this is a potential.
I'm wondering,
Yeah.
I'm scared about going back downstairs now with that robot.
Mhm.
We're going to have to. There isn't anything here.
How long do
I
you
wonder if-
wait here?
I was thinking, what if Kev could... I guess it's so obvious. You had the idea of spider climbing Kev around on the outside to look in windows.
I mean, you could try. If someone was there, that'd be the concerning part. And his face, reflects light. He is so pale.
The last room we were in, that area where the Bible thing was, that was open to a window, right? Wasn't it a balcony as well?
It was not a balcony. It was the northwestern tower, and there was kind of a domed roof that was kind of skylighty. But it did have windows out front that faced the front courtyard.
Oh, we don't want the front ones. There's probably people at least out that way.
I was wondering if we sent the crane out so that he could see if that robot was done checking out that room, and then he could come back in and tell
I mean, you
us.
can try. Do we see if we look out the window? Are there guards in the walls in the direction that we're facing?
Make a perception check.
I'm actually rolling so well tonight, guys.
Good.
This is gonna go to hell eventually. 17.
At your best guess, it's still a ways. Even with your dark vision, it's still difficult to see. The south wall does obviously extend here, and that's the main thing you can see. It looks like with a pretty decent roll, you get the glint of moonlight on the glint of a barrel and some armor. It seems like
Okay.
it seems like there's only one or two kind of on each wall, and obviously in your last encounter, only one armed person. So each wall only seems to have one figure.
We'd have to, I don't know, we could try. My concern is if someone sees him from the outside, then the whole thing's blown.
Yeah.
We could just sneak
We're-
back downstairs and
We're
listen.
so pretty protected, I think, inside this building from exterior eyes, right? From the wall.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And this is
And I-
go ahead.
Good.
Go for it, Ty.
No, I was just gonna say there's nothing else in here worth checking more thoroughly. We've kind
The
of
self-flagellation room.
yeah.
That's all it's
Okay,
used for.
A
great.
few minutes of investigation and conversation and waiting to hopefully allow the automaton below to kind of pass. What are you doing now?
Okay, can I creep down those stairs and take a listen to hear if it's gone or not?
You get down to the bottom of the stairs just before kind of coming fully around the corner of the lowest kind of turn, and you don't see anything. Then you hear the as it kind of comes out of, there was like the kind of tuck to the right from the central area that was basically directly down the hall from you, tucked to the right. It heads out there and then starts to head downstairs.
Great.
I'll motion for everyone to come back.
Do you want to
Let's
check
go.
at one of those other doors on the
Yeah.
on the landing that we didn't have a chance to look at yet?
Yeah, let's do it. There's 2 there.
Cool.
You guys begin to quietly scamper across the open landing terrain. And the landing is open. There's a small waiting area in this kind of slightly descended space where the stairs kind of rise up, and then this landing area where the automaton just descended. As you come out into the space, you see immediately to the right a hall that kind of curves in with benches on either side, and then a larger ornate door set into the south wall. There is that door, and then there are 2 doors on the west wall that are all 3 closed.
Ornate door first.
I think so.
Let's go fancy.
Special.
I'm really worried about opening someone's bedroom door and waking them up.
Do you want to do a perception check through the doors as best we can?
Listen on the door. Can I
Yeah.
listen on the ornate door for any?
All 5 of you quietly rushing over the padded, kind of carpeted floor. Go ahead and make a perception check as you read on the placard of the ornate door, Matron Elsa Algaros.
Matron, this is the woman. 27, 19 on the dice.
It is silent.
I'm like, yeah, let's go in. I can tell no one's there. Can I try the door? Is it locked?
Door is not locked.
Oh, okay.
Is it trapped? Is there
Check.
How can I check for traps? Is that investigation?
Investigation. Yep.
Ty, can you check this for traps because you're better at it than I am?
Let's have a look. I don't have any bonus for investigation. I don't
You
know if
have
anybody
advantage.
else does.
But you have advantage.
Okay, let's give her a go then. Come on. No, gonna need higher than a 6. Come on. No, a 7. That is higher than a 6.
That
but
is higher than a 6.
should have been more
Technically.
specific. That's not
It
gonna be
seems fine.
super helpful.
Seems fine.
Totally fine.
Great.
No issues
open it.
here.
I open it.
Beyond the door, there's a short hallway before the room opens up to an unlit 30-foot square office that is very utilitarian in design and decoration. All 5 of you kind of make your way inside. You close the door behind you.
Yeah. Can I shut it? Can I shut the door? Yeah.
Door quietly closes behind you.
Is there a lock?
It would be like a key.
A lock and key. Okay. Cool.
Door closes behind. A fireplace is built into the right wall as you kind of come in here, and before it stand 2 gray wingback chairs. Flanking either side of the chairs from floor to ceiling, built-in bookshelves full of leatherback tomes, all organized and uniformly square. On the opposite wall stands a wide, imposing desk. Atop it, you see a set of scales, a neat stack of books, inkwell and quill, a sheaf of parchment, and unlit candelabra. An iron-barred window overlooks the garden and south wall, directly south. It is simple in nature, and yet foreboding.
Yeah.
Or boating. I like it.
I think we all try to fucking tear this room apart.
Yeah.
Before we do it,
I'd like specifics for what it is you're looking for or where you're looking, but yes, you can make as many checks as you like.
Did I already use my bless ability?
I don't think so.
Just
I
in
don't
case.
remember.
Oh, I haven't
That's
marked
a
here that I
free
did.
cast.
I haven't marked here. I did. I think I used it earlier. So
The
I'm not gonna
books
use it.
sound interesting. Just like they almost sound like records, like if they're the same size. But I also am very curious about what's written on these parchment papers on the desk. So I think
This is Blood and Conquer.
maybe Mogden will go over to the desk because he might be looking for something more specific with regards to what's been written, and have a look there if someone wants to go take a look at the bookshelves.
I can look at the bookshelf.
I'll stay by the door.
Investigation check with advantage for the desk. Investigation check straight for the bookshelf. And at the door, you're listening just to see.
Yeah, I'm just gonna try and listen. Yeah.
Perception check for the door.
Yeah.
Enid and DeCrane, is there anything you guys are going to try and look for or give assistance to?
You can just look for stuff.
Yeah.
Hidden hideaways. Like where
Nice.
the doors
Investigation
are.
check for hidden things and doors.
I'll do the same on the floor.
Great.
Nice.
Investigation check for you.
Oh,
21.
man. What is my goal?
15 from Ogden.
Okay, great.
4.
14.
I already forgot what I rolled. I rolled 24 on perception.
Leah, what did you roll against, right?
21.
Nice.
And you were looking at the bookshelves.
Yep.
Starting with the desk. Immediately at the top of the desk, you don't see anything written on the pages that are here. It seems like just a sheaf of parchment that has been prepped and ready to be written on. However, you can see, in theory, like this is a classic trick and one the watchers would know well.
I already thought of it.
Do the little charcoal on
Pencils?
top of the top
Mhm.
page to see what's there, but that's like that's a next step. So
Just
starting here, what can
Grab
you
the
first
parchment.
grab? The desk, immediately as you go on the other side of it, there are 2 drawers and a lower cabinet on the left side. Unfortunately, each of them is locked.
Ah.
Check each. All are locked and with little key locks. So either you'll need to break your way in or try to pick them as best you can if any of you have used tools. However, a 15 is enough to also, as you're kind of making your way and looking around, locked. There is a false bottom on the desk, kind of where your main front desk drawer would be, where your keyboard would kind of go under. There's a faint false bottom that you can feel the outline of a panel
Oh, okay.
activated.
Is there a way to do... I'm trying to... When you say activated, you mean open, or is it some kind of device or lever?
It feels like it's got a little bit of weight to it in the same way that like a push release would have.
Okay.
Like something like you would push and it would open, like, like if you have a cabinet that has the push
Yeah.
open.
So Mogden turns to the group and says,
I found what seems like a secret desk drawer. Is it okay to open? Yes?
Maybe look underneath and check if it's trapped before you do it, but then yeah.
This is very good idea.
so he's going to do a little, I don't know, perception or investigation to see if there's any kind
Just
of...
imagine him like getting all the way the fuck down, like
This huge bear face.
push his shoulders into the desk space.
It's an 18.
Nice.
Yeah, 18.
There doesn't appear to be a trap on this kind of pop push button release thing. It seems to be just kind of literally, like a spring loaded kind of like drop thing.
He looks over to the group and kind of raises his eyebrows like, yes? Okay,
Yeah.
so he's going to try... Can he open the panel? Or do I need to roll for that?
No, it's literally just like a little clip. You roll high enough to find it. So
Beauty.
you click and it kind of pops down and into your hand. A Starwheel revolver drops, loaded, ready to fire.
We got a gun!
Just give it to DC in a second. Yeah.
To find the further whatever may be here, you will have to figure out a way into these desk drawers and cabinets.
True.
Let's shoot the locks up.
That's it.
You could do that.
Probably
Before
a bad
we get to what you're going to do there, Enid, you lift up some of the carpet. You're looking around the floor for trying to find some of things that may have shifted or moved, or is there fucking secret evil sigils carved into the floor or something. Unfortunately, seems pretty bare across the area. Doesn't seem to be any kind of sign of that. The bookshelves, as Andy and DeCrane, you're kind of looking for secrets all around. Don't reveal anything of particular interest. Honestly, they seem like just books. A lot of like medical texts and scientific texts. A lot of things about like the College of Artifice and like instruction manuals and like, things like this. A lot more in the science world. However, all the books on the shelves are all uniform. And Andy, as you're making your way around, kind of studying the names, they all seem to have the same cover. Like they've all been rebound, same binding, the same cover. They're different. Names are different, obviously, but they've been bound to look pretty much identical. One of the tomes on the bookshelf on the left of the fireplace, has a distinct wear pattern along the top, a slight impression in the pages, and a fraying to the head of the spine.
Secret book.
Secret door.
You pull on the book, it releases a locking mechanism, and the bookshelf swings inwards. There is a secret passage that seems to descend into darkness.
Okay, but before we go in it, we need to get in the drawers.
Agreed.
Can I take a quick look into the secret passage to make sure there's no like fucking keys hanging on a hook in the wall?
That'd be convenient.
You can make an investigation check.
Sure.
Like,
I just think it'd suck if we missed that. That's all.
Max's desk, and then walking by, they're just hanging.
15.
over.
Check the headrest. The keys.
There are no hooks nor keys.
Great.
It seems to be a fast descending tight spiral staircase. Descends far below.
How if we could get underneath this desk? No, it's probably like a well-made desk where like it's not like you can go way under and see the bottom of the drawers. I'd imagine there's actually a bottom to the desk, right?
Yes.
You can't like go underneath the drawers and try to pry them open.
No, the only spot that you could get underneath was to get the panel pop, and then the left has a full like cabinet that's underneath, and then the drawer, and the other is a drawer, and then it is reinforced.
There's an IKEA in Karden. It's just.
Standard.
Is there a possibility that with like a dagger you could use the tip to kind of pick the lock, or?
Definitely. What you have is you make a dexterity check with a dagger. However, with a dagger, you have run the risk of damaging the lock so much that it can't be opened in that way, and you obviously leave sign that someone tried to fuck with a dagger.
Who has
It's
the
a
best?
less elegant version.
Who has the best decks? Kev, what's your decks?
My dex is
Just
I think
plus
you're
four.
+4.
+4.
I think that's better than everyone. Mogden, do you have above +4 for dex? You're just
I
a
have
strengthy boy.
+1 for Dex.
Kev, I think it's on you, my guy. Try and break into this desk. Channel Hondo the Blue.
I'll do it.
Just think if I have any.
Just use my dagger to cut a hole in it.
Or your gun.
Well, a dexterity check with your dagger, and this is something that can only be attempted once to pick it without the.
It's a 1.
Oh,
And so because you break it is why you don't get to try again.
Can I fix it? No.
The dagger is stuck in the drawer.
I think we just rip it out now. Like if it's gonna be seen,
we gotta pry it open.
that's on you, Mogden. You're the strongest.
All right. I wonder if
Now-
Mogden could have used his little bear claw and like
Not anymore.
little keyhole
There are 2 other keyholes that you could attempt that if you want.
with this little claw.
I'll allow you to try a dexterity check.
All right, let's do it. So for that,
I hope you get a 1. We have to leave your paw in there forever.
17 + 1, 18.
Nice.
Yeah, I'll give you one of them. Let's say, do you want the top right drawer or the lower cabinet?
Ooh, what do we think, guys? What do we like?
Hey, your call. Your call.
Top
Let's
left
go.
has now been sealed with a dagger.
I feel like if there's like documents, they're probably in the lower drawer. I don't know. That's what I'm thinking.
Do it. Lower it
Let's
is.
go lower. Let's go lower drawer.
Okay, the lower cabinet. You do manage to kind of pick with your claw, and perhaps the claw is less doing picking up, more breaking. But it still does the trick, and you're able to pop the lock. The lower cabinet opens and reveals 2 further drawers that are organized folders and parchment full of patient details. There are 50 or more on each level. The top level you recognize, you see is labeled as like current patients, while the bottom is archived patients.
Ooh, this is good.
With a pretty quick cursory scan, you can see the archived patients are either labeled deceased or cured.
Oh, God.
Interesting. Is this something we want to take with us? Yeah. So he's gonna scoop that up. Is it
I
possible?
wonder if it's like worth to like at least take the archive for sure. Do we want to take both to? I mean, I guess at this point that she knows that their desk is broken into.
Yeah, with the dagger
Yeah.
stuck there, it's kind of like fuck it.
So
We got
Are
your
you looking
files.
through Are you looking through any of it now? Or are you moving fast?
I think he's gonna grab it. I think I want to open the other drawer. Try to open the other drawer while we're here before.
While he's doing that, can I flip through current patients and see if anything stands out?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I hand Andy the pile of papers.
Make an investigation check for you there, and Mogden just another straight dexterity. See if these fancy claws of yours are going to work.
Come on, claws. Let's go.
22.
22.
Nice.
He looks so it's gonna go to
That's
so fast.
7 on this one.
Alright, he gets his finger stuck.
Your claw breaks and hurts. He's stinging.
Break a nail.
You break a nail, it stings. And unfortunately, this lock can no longer be picked. Both of the drawers will need to be broken into should you wish to break into them.
Someone go find a crowbar.
I could use my axe and like pry it open, maybe.
I think you could
you
just
definitely
rip it open with your fucking paws.
Dealer's choice.
I would give you the axe. Would probably be just easier.
All right, let's pry it open with the axe.
The issue with breaking anything here is the sound in which it takes to break.
I almost took silence, guys. I didn't.
What do we think? Like smash and grab and run through that door? Maybe is there anything? What's that?
We don't know where the other door goes.
Do we want, before we force that, do we want to have a quick little look around to see?
Send the bunnies halfway down the stairs and listening.
Can do.
Okay.
Yeah, we can do that.
Both of you guys go down to make perception checks. In the meantime, while you guys are debating how to like best quietly get these drawers, and you're flipping through some of the patient files and trying to find like the newest, the latest, the most recent kind of. And there are about a half dozen recently filed patients flipping through, and there are kind of brief outlines of their conditions and what they are dealing with. There's brief descriptions of who they are. There's a furbolg, there's a human, there's written as just Fae. You know, you're not sure what that necessarily means. There's loose like information about their like height, weight, like medical information, and then some notation about some suspected elements of their heritage or their potential magical connection, their illnesses, and all these kinds of things. Some of them have kind of the classic like body, the picture, like the outline of a body that is highlighting certain elements and detailing certain like very medical specific things. And then you get to a couple, some of these most recent ones, as you're kind of scanning through a bunch of them. Two of them stand out to you, and it takes you like a couple of minutes while all this is happening in the background, but it like clicks in your brain as you're like flipping through and reading through it, and you get through like 5 more before you go back to the first two, the two most recent patients, the Furbolg and Red Dragonborn. Furbolg had a notable claw hand, crab's claw hand. Red Dragonborn was noted to be stout of heart and a fighter. She noted the warrior spirit of the Dread Dragonborn, and that he would be very well suited for her animus experiments.
Okay.
I take it you know these people
from Ep 1.
Well, not for Volk, but
what were the perception checks?
16?
17.
You guys are pretty much on point there.
We're friends.
As you take just a couple of steps down, you can identify that this is separate from the main structure. Like this isn't going to let out within like the kitchen or anything like that. It is going to descend deeper and deeper. You can feel the cold of the earth kind of rising up here. It is subterranean where it is going to let out. And you hear the familiar male pained sounds, static and buzz of an electricity. It seems to be growing ever slightly louder.
I look at Nettie and kind of like hustle us back upstairs.
Up top, what are we doing about these drawers?
Fucking rip them open. Fuck this place.
Is it time to smash it?
Well,
as quietly as possible. Like if you can wedge your axe in the top,
that's
and
what I
like
was thinking. Like try to like quietly like create enough mechanical advantage from like putting the edge of the blade in and just trying to like pop it, you know, without making too much noise.
So here's what we're gonna do. You're gonna try and make an attack roll with your hand axe, but at disadvantage. To kind of you're using the weight, the strength, and the blade of your hand axe, but you're not doing it efficiently. So a disadvantage attack roll against a DC 15 lock.
Okay, let's go. Come on. Well, nat 20 plus 7 on the first one, so
pretty good.
fuck yeah.
Of course, it's a disadvantage when I finally rolled a 20.
Just roll it again.
And that's going to be a 16.
It's not bad.
Beats the lock. The 15 was your DC. So,
Okay, squeak by.
You are able to pop the top left drawer where the dagger had been stuck inside. The inside, you see more parchment, stoppered inkwells, pens, and wax seals to letters alongside 2 stamps. One of the kind of like a stamp for a wax seal. One of them bears a blade and omega symbol of the Arcana class, recognizable to several of you. The other is a flaming hammer and anvil. You guys are free to make history checks if you want to try and identify.
Yeah, let's do that.
Come on, Andy, you
I'm
nerd.
assuming am I otherwise occupied at this point?
It would eventually be laid out for anyone to view, but Mogden, please go ahead and make the check. Andy, you're able to make it as well. And
Yeah, I'll call
just
Andy
come
over
later.
as well to have a look. It's gonna be a 10 for Mogden.
There's the low roll, but admittedly for me, a low history.
Yep.
Okay, 19.
A 10, you don't recognize it immediately. It doesn't kind of ring a bell. You recognize the Arcana class logo, obviously. That one doesn't ring a bell. You hand it off to Andy. Andy, it takes a second, but you do determine that is the symbol of what would be a noble family from a fallen northern kingdom in Ironhome. It's the symbol of Vorbrund, the flame of the north that was lost to the ash on the day of Dark Sun. What did you roll what was your 19?
Mm-hmm.
A 19 is enough to connect another dot here. The reveal of Vorbrund and the name on the plate at the doorway when you came in here. It's kind of finally connecting the dots. Matron Elsa Algaros, also known as Dr. Elsa Algaros, sister of Lord Commander Warren Algaros, Arcanoclast. The Algaros family hail from Vorbrund and were kind of like next in line for the throne kind of situation.
Okay.
Let's take all this shit.
Is it so? If I'm picturing it, these are like signets or like official seals.
Yeah.
My understanding would be those would be used to authenticate like documents and things like that. So if they've got this other family seal, does that mean they're using that on behalf of a party that no longer has it?
Well, she's one of them.
She is one of the last 2 of this family. And
It's up to you whether we take them or take rubbings of them, but either way, I think some kind of...
The notable point to what Tyler's kind of leading down, less of the family thing, the fact that she is utilizing the Arcana class symbol here in a Black Watch, like an off the book situation, and she's not directly linked with Arcana class.
Yeah.
Her brother is. She's never been directly linked with the Arcana class. She's been specifically separated. So that is a potentially damning note for her within like her own structure of how this is kind of working behind the scene.
Let's take both. We've got a dagger sticking out.
I mean,
of one of these
we've already
things.
trashed this desk, so there's
Yeah.
gonna be. It's not like
Yeah.
we're sneaking. So yeah, let's throw the.
Do you want to try the last door or last?
Yeah,
door?
let's do it.
Yeah.
Same thing with the hand
Practice.
axe.
If you're trying to be silent again, it's disadvantage again.
Okay.
Crack it open, baby.
Here we go. 16
Okay, that would be enough.
and 23.
Nice.
Wow.
Again, able to just kind of ply it in, and it's your strength that's really pushing it over, but it's precision and popping it off. The lock breaks free. This drawer is bisected front and back. In the front, there are kind of knickknacks and little bits and pieces of just kind of nothing of particular note. However, in the back sit 6 journals side by side. They each seem to cover a span of 5 years noted on their kind of spines. Notably, the end date of the 6th journal is 4 years ago. Reading through each will take some significant time, obviously. However, very quickly able to kind of peruse there the writings and scientific discovery of Dr. Elsa Algaros. Flipping through, you see formulas for the creation of black powder, instructions on crafting ammunition, weapon modifications, things that have since become the Star Wheel revolver as you know it now, but there are likely more within. However, more troublingly are the detailed notes and callous trial and error describing the process of rehabilitating the mages, as what has become known as the art of breaking someone the right way to produce a bond mage.
Ooh.
Yeah, I had a feeling they were making bond mages here, and now we know
Take
for
it
sure.
all. Take
Let's-
it all.
Put it in
Also
this
that-
bag.
Oh yeah, there's no Arcana class connection except she invented their guns.
Yeah. Let's get the fuck out of here.
Let's grab that stuff. And what do we think? Are we headed into the tunnel?
I think if we head into the tunnel, we head into her.
Yeah.
know
Right.
if you wanna do
True.
that.
You're right. That's
Well-
right. You guys heard stuff down. That's right.
I think at this point, if the bunnies come back up, I'll tell everyone. Actually,
What
I will
the-
very quickly. I'm going to really quickly go back through that stack, Kyle. Is there anything about like a roughly 12-year-old girl?
Not in the stack.
Okay, that doesn't mean that.
Not somewhere else.
Doesn't mean that Ursa's not here. I will relay to everyone. Well, other than Mogden, who has no context, they
Poor Mogden.
have Cal and Captain Viglas.
He's a
now?
friend of yours.
It's under current patients, not under deceased. They're under current, which means they probably have Ursa too, or she got away.
They're torturing someone.
We have to get them out.
If we
These
go
are
down
friends
there-
of yours, yes?
Yes.
Yeah, and very important friends. One's almost like a romantic partner to my sister. I'm not super huge on it, but
Which one? The giant furball Mr. Krabs man?
They had
Or-
weird chem together. So, I don't know. That's beside the point.
love him with this.
And you think that they are here right now?
It's under current patients. If they weren't here, they'd be under the deceased pile.
Okay, well, we could rush downstairs right now and see if we can find them.
It
And
would
I
be
would
wrong
say-
to leave them.
With this information, both your perception checks were high enough, and Augie, you rolled pretty high earlier. There's a nice southern drawl to that.
I think they're torturing him right now.
Well, if these people are important to you, it would be against my code and my conscience to leave them behind. We must.
We throw down quick and fast. Let's get down there. And if she's
Okay.
there,
The crane, take the other pistol and what is that wand you have refused to use? Because at this point, we're really low on spells, and I need to know what it is.
You just take it.
Throws you
Look really fast. I'll just check it in my pocket and use it and hope it fucking works. I don't know.
Are you gonna
you gonna burn a spell slot? Yeah.
Huh?
You gonna
Burn a spell slot for it? Yeah.
I can't. I don't have it prepared, so I can't burn
Doesn't
the spell
take-
slot.
Doesn't take 10 minutes.
11 minutes.
It can take 11 minutes if I do it ritually.
Why don't I try to quietly put the desk back together as much
No.
as possible?
There's a dagger in it.
Nah, so that's not gonna happen.
Okay.
The busted bear claw.
Andy, I don't know if we can wait 11 minutes.
I don't think we can wait 11 minutes.
Are
You
we
can just
kicking
wing
this
it.
door down?
I'll grab it and fucking wing it, and at least we have it.
Here's
Or
what I'll
give it
give you. I'll give you an Arcana check to see if you can quickly ascertain some
What's-
of the elements.
Is it gonna hurt someone if I point it at them, or is it gonna fucking help them? Like,
Tickle, tickle.
This could be so fun to use it. No idea what it does. We'll just find out.
oh my god, these high rolls are gonna end eventually. Arcana,
Mhm.
27.
Jesus.
I have a plus 10 now, and I rolled a 17.
All right. Well, you
We're
didn't
gonna go into this
identify
fight,
it,
and I'm gonna roll like shit.
so I'm not going to tell you very specifically what it does, even
That's
with
fine.
the 27. But I'm going to give you some things that you otherwise could never have possibly. Had.
I need to know if I point this at someone, is it gonna do a fireball, or is it gonna make them fucking fly because it's a feather?
So it's got 3 charges. You can use those charges to target objects for 1 charge, or to
Yeah.
target people for 2 charges. You have the option to go either
I
heavy
just
or light.
understood what the reference to this.
I don't know how you didn't pick that up. Literally,
What's the
I don't-
scepter called? What's it called?
it's a feather one.
feather wand, and it will mean nothing to no one whose child doesn't watch a copious amounts of Bluey.
Okay, amazing. Great. Great. If you know this
My
reference,
character doesn't know what it means.
if you know this reference, viewer, please comment down below. Who's
Season
your
1,
favorite?
episode fucking, it's gotta be 12 or something. It's pretty early in the series.
No, don't you do it. No spoilers.
It's a
No.
6-minute episode if you feel like watching it. It's also
great
very
episode.
cute. It's a really cute episode. Oh,
Yeah.
everyone
Okay, we gotta
pause
rush
and watch
downstairs.
Heather Wand. Oh, okay.
As you guys begin to rush downstairs, feather wand in hand, various documentation of all manner of sorts of things here, rushing into who knows what. We'll find out next time.
Ooh.
Oh man, guys, it's getting intense. Kyle, you really brought it right back to F1 with that one. Jeez.
You know how I do, baby.
I've been waiting for a nice Kyle callback. That's great.
This has been
Cool.
building since you left that dark veil.
And we sent what's his name out to look for Ursa,
Yeah,
Mhm.
Isaac.
you found something.